Danfo offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danfo, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danfo, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danfo, Africa. To learn more, visit danfo.africa.
Y'all, please forgive me. I'm sitting here just running my mouth, thinking I'm actually on the stream, and I wasn't. And then I looked down. I'm like, I'm not on camera yet. Well, I'm not in the I'm not on screen yet. I'm so sorry. I was sitting there just running my mouth. Shout out to Chanel Harry for the 440 gems. I don't even know what 440 gems are, but I guess that's a good thing. That's a gift. You and Green. So we appreciate you, Uncle Alert. Uncle Alert. So let's give you a round of applause real quick. There we go. We appreciate you. I don't know what 440 gems are, but hey, we gonna count it all joy. Again, we gonna count it all joy. I don't know what it is, Diners, but hey, we gonna take it. I don't know what we're gonna do with it, but hey, we gonna count it all joy. So guys, hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one: if you're watching, in fact, Chanel, hold on, Chanel, hold on, Chanel, hold on. Whoever's watching this right now, including you, Chanel, I have a documentary that I am so passionate about. Again, I have a documentary that I am so passionate about. I need everyone who is watching this, okay? Again, everybody who is watching this who watches this, I need you to go to documentary. Search for uhuru.com Go to documentary.searchforahuru.com and buy the documentary. Everybody who's watching this, listen, guys, I bootstrapped this myself. It's streaming on my own platform. So go to documentary.searchforahuru.com if you're watching this and stream the documentary, guys. I will greatly appreciate it. I need everybody to watch the documentary, and I also need you to share the documentary as well. I will greatly appreciate it. It really means a lot, guys. Please, everybody who's watching this, go and buy the documentary and watch the documentary. I would greatly appreciate it. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. All right. We are also rolling to Nigeria here in about 10 days. In about 10 days, we are rolling to Nigeria. Well, 11 days. 11 days, we're rolling to Nigeria. In September, we're going to Zanzibar and where else we going to? Zanzibar and Kenya. Then in November, we're doing Ghana and Ivory Coast and Sierra Leone. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. I will greatly appreciate it. Here's the site right here, donfo.africa. See everything that we're doing. Please join the family. Come and join us on a trip. Come and have an awesome time. And let's do the damn thing, as they say. Without further ado, let's jump to today's topic. Interesting clip I saw on X the other day. And this isn't just coming from the so-called we the Native Americans. This is also coming from ADOS. I hear this all the time. Here we go. Okay, where's the sound? Where's the sound? Here we go.
We not from Africa, bro.
Damn, okay.
Oops. Hold on.
Okay, tell me more about that.
We not from Africa, bro.
Damn, okay. Tell me more about that.
Like, we not from Africa, bro.
Okay.
Like, history is a lie, bro. Like,
okay.
I'm not from Africa, bro.
You're not? Okay.
I'm not from Africa, bro. Like,
you was here already.
Like, bro, like, yeah, I was here already. You can look at an African and their features are different than mine.
Right.
Their features are different than you. Like, you look like you Indian or something. Like, for sure. You might be Indian. You might be...
He looks like he's Indian. Y'all stop. Come on, man. And so a lot of you guys are saying, Dynasty, why are you showing this ignorant stuff? There's no way people believe this. You guys have no idea. This is just not limited to the internet. You guys have absolutely no idea how fast this is spreading. I know a lot of you guys want to spread the, you guys want to blame the CIA and you're saying that this is a psyop. I don't think this is a psyop. I just think folks really believe this stuff. And their hatred and how they want to be disassociated and separate themselves from Africa, they're just coming up with this stuff. He looked like he's Indian. And he said it with a straight face. And the other guy looks like he could be Ethiopian or Eritrean.
For sure. You might be Indian. You might be, I don't know, Eritrean right. Or something, bro. I don't.
Yeah, Eritrean is African. Oh, Lord Jesus. Eritrea is in Africa.
I don't know, but like, I'm starting to slowly unlearn the shit that walked to us, bro. You're not gonna just put something on me and just say that's where you from. Okay. I'm not from Africa, bro. I don't have no family from Africa.
That's a fact.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I have friends from Africa now that I met them through the internet and shit, we talking stuff. Yeah. Friends can turn into families, but bro, I don't know nobody there. That's not back home for me. Yeah, we not from Africa, bro.
Damn, okay. Tell me more about that.
Like, we not from Africa, bro. Okay. Like okay. History is a lie, bro.
Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with now. And guys, this is starting to grow and snowball. This is starting to snowball. And I did a video years ago. In fact, let me pull this video up. This is my video. Everybody has a doppelganger in hold on, where's that video at? Everybody has a doppelganger in West Africa. Hey, where's the video at? It's when I was in Togo. Hold on, where's that? I can't. I literally did a video on this. Hold on, beach, Togo. Oh well, I can't find it. But yeah, everybody has a doppelganger in West Africa. Everybody. Maybe this is the video real quick. I mean, right here. Okay, yeah, yeah, but everybody has a doppelganger in West Africa. Every Black American does. But guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you disagree, if you saying Donis, I don't look like no African, I look like a Cherokee. Hey, call in. Call in. I'd like to hear your story on how you look like a Cherokee. Yeah, so go ahead and call in, guys. Link is in the chat room. If you want to add to the conversation, even Donis is 30% white and don't look like it. Nah, I'm about 11%. The devil's a lie. In fact, let's pull up these DNA results right now. We're gonna pull up the DNA results, not now, but right now. Hold on, DNA, your results summary. We're gonna pull this up now. Here we go. Share ancestry DNA. Yeah. So I am. Here we go. So here's the white DNA. 3% Donegal, Ireland. Hold on, y'all seeing this? There you go. 3% Leinster, Ireland. North Wales and Northwest England, 2%. So that's 8%. Germany's and Russia, that's 2% too. So we at 10% now. 1% Southeastern England and Northwestern Europe. So that's at 11. And then there's 1% Norway. So that's 12. So I only got 12% European in me. So and talk about some 30% shit. All right. And then I got 1% Native American, the Yucatan Peninsula. And that's actually rare for me to even have 1%. The majority of you Black folks claiming to be Native American, you don't have any percentage of Native American in you. So yeah. So that's it. Go ahead, Drew.
Oh, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Drew, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you bought my documentary?
No, I haven't really bought your documentary.
Why not? Why have you bought my documentary?
I mean, just haven't really gotten around to it.
Go buy my documentary. Come on, go buy my documentary. I'll put the link in the chat.
I'll look into it later.
Okay. All right. Look into it and call me right back. Call back in. All right. Go ahead, Africa.
Yeah, I think I'm one of the first guys that bought your documentary. In fact, I bought one for me.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Just go buy the documentary. Y'all support your brother.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm on full court press. Like.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they should support you because you're doing a great work. You know, day in, day out. You know, I see a lot of guys that come here. You know, they go to other platform and they spend a lot of money and they come here, they become stingy. You know? But yeah, first of all, you know, this is not just an FBA problem. Even Black African brothers, you know, who are African, they themselves, you know, they're not really proud of who they are most of the time. If you look, they spend a lot of money buying bleach products to bleach their skins. And even some of our women, it's a self-hate. It's a deep psyche. They all want to look brown skin. They want to look lighter. They want to have certain phenotype. You know, they want to have like certain type of kids. You know, which love don't have a boundary. You know, if you love somebody, regardless of their color skin, fine. But some people who do it specifically because they want to have lighter skin kids. So that's a problem. So I would not just say it's an FBA problem. It's a black problem. In fact, there's a guy called Yaya Jammeh in Gambia. He actually banned all the skin products years ago in Gambia. He made it illegal. But these guys that you saw just now, definitely the other guy that you were speaking about, he looked more like a Eritrean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
Me. Yeah, even though he's African American, but he probably would trace his ancestors back to some of the far west, like the people in the Senegambian region. Some of them got that similar phenotype, right? So, like even you, I don't know. The first time I saw you, I can tell you fits that Senegambian region, Senegambia, Mali area, because they have a. I don't want to sound vain, but for some reason we tend to have better looking people in Senegambia and Mali area. You know, compared to other African people. But the only thing I got to say, Diane, is, I mean, if people are coming on the platform to insult, my ethnicity, you should check them out because I had you stopping them insulting other ethnicity in the past. They shouldn't be using it to do that because I think it's very disrespectful. Especially if they're coming up to make up allegations with no evidence, So I think that should be something that I heavily count on you to put them on check. I'll pass the mic to the other brothers. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, G-Day. Well, let me, Drew.
Hi.
Yeah.
You there, Drew?
Yeah, I bought it.
You bought the You bought the documentary, Drew.
Yeah, I bought it. I just bought it.
You just bought it.
Oh, wicked.
Hey, Drew, I appreciate you, Drew. I really do. I'm very passionate
about
this documentary. I'm gonna start closing the doors, locking the pastor said, lock them doors. Yeah. So, Drew, you bought the documentary?
Yeah, I bought it. I just bought it.
You sound pretty sure that you bought it, Ines.
Okay, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
All right. So, as far as like the topic, you said that FBA said that they're not African or don't look African.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm starting to hear more of that.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't look African, but a lot of the times when I do cut my hair, or have my hair cut low, people think that I'm Hispanic. Some people think that, I'm nothing that is close to looking African, even though I do have a lot of African DNA. Most of my DNA is from West Africa, but people might not assume that I am just based on how I look. But I would say the ones who say that, I think it's because they're in denial about, just the whole mixture of what it means to be Black American. I think that, of course, you're going to have certain Black Americans that look different than each other. Some are going to look more European like because of that admixture. Some are going to look more African because of that admixture. But we come in all different shades, we come in all different features. So I mean, but of course, most of it is going to go back to Africa in terms of the ancestral DNA and everything like that. But the ones who say that, I think what it is that they want to be Abo, like you said. A lot of them want to be, you know, they want to be like Cherokee or want to be Chickasaw, whatever the case is, and they want to, you know, just kind of have that, you know, separate identity outside of Africa. Because I think, for one, I think the roots of it is because of the slave trade and how certain Africans sold us off, and because of the lack of education or the lack of knowledge that comes into play when in regards to our identity. And I think also it has a lot to do with the fact that they have been given a lot of bad narratives about Africa in general. So I think anybody who wants to associate themselves with being African, I think they see it as like something that is kind of a lowball thing in a way. Based on just, you know, stereotypes and things like that. You know, people, because still to this day, a lot of FBA people see Africans as being primitive. They still see Africans as being backwards because of the narratives. So it's like, how, yeah, the point of it is like, how do we actually you know, have people relearn things about Africa, or how do we, you know, get people to basically get the accurate knowledge about what Africa is? Or what all the countries consist of, because some people still see Africa as a whole big country. You know, they don't even realize that it's a whole continent that have different looks and have different cultures and customs, and languages. They just only see it in a very one-dimensional way. So I think that's probably the reason why when they say the word African, they always think, oh, it must be somebody who's extremely dark skinned, somebody who is very tribal, you know, live in mud huts and things like that. So it's really kind of like the rhetoric and the propaganda that comes with this whole African narrative, or what people kind of see Africa as being. And I'll go ahead and pass the mic for now.
All right, go ahead, Jide.
Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. Before you pass the
Thank
mic,
you, Dana.
sorry, Jide, just to confirm what he just said. I am from Sierra Leone. Okay, the original owners of Sierra Leone, the first ever people that founded in Sierra Leone, the Limba tribe, they're light skinned people. They're not dark skinned people. You know, all the other dark skinned people came there and intermarried with them. And even when you have kids with them, they tend to be light skinned as well. So it's just a myth, like what Drew is saying. It's just a mindset thinking all Africans are dark skinned. You know, we have to have certain type of skin color and features. But yeah, sorry about that, Jide. Thank you.
No problem. Go ahead, Jide.
Greetings, Dana. Greetings.
At Cabo.
Yes, Jide. Kushare.
Yeah, greetings, Africa. It's been a while, man. Yeah. I mean, this is beginning to snowball, man. It's a very serious issue. It's a big issue. It's a big issue that needs to be discussed. You know, it's a cause for concern, really. It's a cause for concern. This is not the legacy, you know, the founding fathers and the heroes, the founding fathers, legends, and the great people of African American history, and you know, the real heroes of African American history. Their heroes past. This is not what they ever dreamt of. This is not what they imagined. I mean, this is not even what they ever envisaged, each and every one of them. And it's quite unfortunate that our people are beginning to deviate from the legacy of our heroes and the foundation they left behind. They are now beginning to chase after white supremacy more than ever, and they are beginning to integrate into these far right ideologies so that they will move away and against their Africanness. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. These are not the things Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela is very controversial, but we still mention him in this context. Nelson Mandela, these are not the things they fought for. But our people have decided to betray the cause of the little tiny freedom that we have to go against their ancestry, to go against what their essence is. It's really sad. It's very disturbing, and I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm pretty sure and I'm confident that even in as much as it's different from what's going on in South Africa, but it's connected. And I think there's a war against anything African. A lot of Pan-African intellectuals and a lot of great people are now beginning to talk about Afrophobia. The Afrophobia is now an emerging movement, not just even in the continent, but also in the diaspora. It's a growing movement that, like I said earlier, I've said it before, I think on this show I said it, that it seems like it's being funded by people that have always hated us for so long. They are being funded, and unfortunately, our people are always the ones that are willing to be traitors to serve these people, to what? To be against their own interests, and to what? To destroy their lives and destroy, the impact of their heroes, like I said earlier. It's not even a matter of common sense anymore. This is beyond common sense. This is just insane. And like I said, it's not about logic anymore. It's more about any just destroying and completely purging out anything African. I mean, for crying out loud, let's even go back to history. Like, what more do you want? We're talking about.
You muted yourself, G-Day.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm back on now. Yeah, these same enemies that we claim to be enemies, they made the effort to ensure that the so-called African heritage that our ancestors brought to this land, they took it away. They were successful in doing that. And they're not done yet. They're not done yet. They still want to ensure that there's a complete erasure of anything African in this land. And I think that fight, we need to go against that fight, because this fight is going to continue. It is going to continue. And we have to do something about it, because this is not even a matter of common sense anymore. This is a movement. And this is a movement against our people by our people. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. Malcolm X said it. There should never be a separation, in as much as we are different, but there should never be a separation of political alliances between Africans in the diaspora and Africans in the continent. He made it very clear, specifically. And that's probably one of the reasons why he was assassinated. And yet, our people are still pushing against, this legacy of our heroes, for whatever millions of dollars they will earn from the enemy, from whatever luxury they will earn. It's quite unfortunate. Even the enemies, the so-called, one of them, Tucker Carlson or something, I don't know, that far-right guy, Tucker Carlson, what's that his name? He was coming out to endorse FBA. He was talking about FBA, that he likes what they are doing. I'm saying it again, this is not a coincidence. If anyone thinks this is a coincidence, honestly, we don't know what we are doing at this point. This is funded and pushed by far-right institutions to ensure that African Americans and even Africans are completely purged away from their African leaning in any way. This is an anti-African movement to ensure that Black people are further divided and destroyed. And these are the things they use. Even we're in the United States. Look at Native Americans. We talk about the genocide of Native Americans. Native Americans. How did the genocide was not just by shooting them, it was by dividing them. A lot of Native American tribes, they allied with England, with France, with Spain to fight each other. That was how they committed genocide against each other. It's not just by disease. It's not just by white people going to shoot them. No, it's by dividing them. The people that have lived together for centuries, dividing them, and for crying out loud, what is now their percentage in the United States? Their percentage is it's not even up to 10%. Look at our look at this country, the United States. Black people have always been known to be the largest minority group. Now, Latin Americans, they're beginning to take over. And we are divided among ourselves. It's very unfortunate that we are still having all these divisive conversations. I mean, we should have these conversations. Very disturbing that we are still very divisive on all these things. And our communities are eroding. Our communities are being destroyed, both in the continent and in the diaspora. And other groups are beginning to take over. And we are still not seeing what is going on. It's quite unfortunate. I'll stop there. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Em. Go ahead, Em.
All right, thank you, sir. As far as the topic, there's obvious phenotypical similarities between Black Americans and West Africans. But I think as far as our mentality and our spirituality, I think we are nothing alike, because they haven't really suffered the things that we suffer, and they never really have overcome and rejected like white supremacy like we have in America. And we are more accepting of Africans into our communities and allow them to flourish and obtain power more so than Africans allow Black Americans to attain power and flourish in Africa. So we might look the same, but I don't think we are the same. It's like the order of Melchizedek. We've been made perfect through the things in which we suffered. I think they don't really have that. They haven't really been made perfect as a whole. They still are tribal. When you look at the highest form of civilization, society, it's an ideological difference. You know, similar to Democrat and Republic. Like you accept this activity, and we accept this activity. We might look the same, but we are not the same. We had a civil war because some people wanted to have human beings in slavery. And other people said we don't believe that. And it was a clash of civilizations. And it was similar to what happened back then, 500 years ago. I'm pretty sure a lot of those Africans looked the same when they was shipping them off to the Europeans, you know. And it was more cool and connected, like the guy just said, the Cherokee clicked up with the French. Isn't that what the Africans did against other Africans? Clicked up with the French and the British and the Portuguese against their own people. But I think the genetic predispositions, similarities are not as, it doesn't really mean anything. If our mind and our spirit is not the same, we don't have the same values. If we were just on this side, just having this hospitality, this Southern or this Black American hospitality, we open arms and we just allow all of these people to come here. Like the guy said, that the Latinos took advantage of that, and now they're the biggest minority. Nobody allows Black people in America to come into their country and grow and flourish. So we are not the same, and I think that might be the key to our salvation. I think that's the key to our strength, how we are. And if other people don't want to get in line with that type of program, I think they're going to be left behind. They're still going to be chasing money, worshiping white people, and they're going to get stabbed in the back over and over, colonized over and over. The Latinos worship the white man. The Africans worship the Caucasians, the Asians. Everybody just worshiping something. And then they turn backstabbing and using us as Black people, using our generosity to their advantage. But they never really practice that type of generosity. So when we cut their water off, like with the Asians, they're gonna wither up and die, or they're gonna like a tulip. When you cut his water off, it's gonna just dry up and wither away if they don't change their mind, or if they don't really adopt our principles as a people. If the Africans don't adopt the Black Americans' philosophy and principles, and our hospitality and our generosity, or whatever it is that we are, they will not.
What's our principles?
Our principle, for one, is Black people first. We're gonna look out for Black people, regardless of their race.
Okay, so the majority of Black people vote Democrat, right? So can you really say that's the case?
I mean, when we allowed these Africans to come into our institutions and into our communities, and we didn't really discriminate against them because they was Africans. We just saw them as Black. That was our number one principle. And our other principle is we were circulating our dollars, and we were just looking out for each other, helping each other grow and flourish. Other people don't practice that.
That's not true. Claude Anderson has completely debunked that as far as us circulating our dollars. Post.
I'm talking about way. I'm talking about before Jimmy Carter, the fall of Jimmy Carter. But that's still part of our principle, even though we was like usurped and knocked off of our tracks. That's still part of our overall disposition, our overall mentality. Even though it's not being practiced the way it is, we still kind of have that, you know.
All right, let me pass the mic to Johnny.
All right, yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, Johnny, have you streamed my documentary?
No, I haven't, man. I was trying to get it.
What do you mean trying to? Well, let me help you. What do you need help with? You mean trying to get it? What
So
happened?
let me explain, man. I was trying to get it. I was trying to pay with Apple Pay, and it kept telling me I need to update my address to do that. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get it though, man. When I get a chance. But yeah, I was just wanting to say, without addressing the comments that the prior speaker was making, and staying to the topic, man. I think that some people just kind of I mean, they get lost by not understanding history, and they cannot accept some of the struggles and stuff they go through. You know, here in American TV, as we all know, like before the internet, mostly, we see the struggles and stuff and the chaos and stuff that kind of seems like is going on out there, and that's all we really see on TV and all that. You know, we're taught, you know, a lot of corruption and famine and all this other stuff. That's kind of, you know, kind of how we associate it. We're taught to despise or ridicule people uh, with features, you know, that might be black. So dark skin, obviously, you know, people who's the darkest definitely got teased and stuff, you know, made fun of for having dark skin. If your hair is nappy by any chance, you're definitely gonna get teased for that. If you dare leave the house like that, or be, you know, ashy or something like that, those type of things are kind of imprinted on us and stuff. And we're seeing these people as kind of like, you know, people see them as kind of like backwards or primitive type people and ways of being. But I think the biggest issue is that people don't really understand the marvel and the actual diversity that comes from the actual continent of Africa, and variations in genetic makeup. Like when we think about, it's kind of hard to grasp for a lot of people. And I know this is not the place to get into like the details and stuff of it, but if you look into the genetic variations, the most genetically diverse place on the planet is on the continent of Africa. And there's a reason behind that. But what that basically means is that most of the variations that you see within the human genome are going to show up on the African continent. So that's everywhere in between on these spectrums. So the tallest people, the shortest people, you know, the smartest, the dumbest, the fattest, skinniest, whatever the case may be, all and everything in between is going to exist on that continent. So when you see people with different features, you're obviously going to find people that look just like them from the continent. But people, I don't know, they have kind of in their head what a generic, you know, African would look like. And if they don't look like that person in their head, if they don't look like Michael Blackson or something, then they just assume this person is not from Africa, or that they're not from Africa because they don't look like the you know, this person that they've seen that came from this one particular place. You know, that's obviously small-minded thinking, but you know, the more people get educated, I guess I'm hoping they can learn to see the difference and what the reality is. You know, but it's just some people's gonna have to see for themselves that it's more than just, you know, animals. It's more than just the Kalahari or the Serengeti or the Sahara Desert. You know, is reasons why people come there all over the year and all at all times of the year and stuff to see, to visit, to be part of what's going on over there. Just the things you see, the natural wonders, the waterfalls, you know, the beaches, obviously, and a lot of other things that kind of draw people in. Animals, obviously, is a good thing, but still, I think that when it comes to seeing people differently, it's mostly because of our clothes and maybe our mannerisms in the West that make us have a different look to us. Our diets and stuff that kind of give us a different feel than you might see. But if you look at them as kids, right? You look at like
African kids or, black kids, Caribbean kids, whatever, around like, maybe from right around teenage and then younger, you know, you're gonna see them. They could be anybody. They can fit in anywhere. You wouldn't be able to tell, oh, these are me. This is not me. Nothing like that. So I mean, people just gotta think about the obvious, and think about what they're saying. That guy who you played in the clip earlier was literally, talking about, oh, you look Eritrean, which we all know is showing the diversity from the continent. It's the eastern part of the continent, same place. So yeah, they look, he wasn't, without even knowing, he basically was telling this person that he looks African, but just not, West African, what he was, thinking of in his head, but clearly wrong. But then continuing on to say that he was Indian, and I'm like, well, show me the Indians that you look like, man. That's what I want to see. Who he's referring to, the Indians that he looks so much more similar to, again, the diversity is a crazy thing, because just between the East Africans and the Eritrea and Somalia and the Africans and Senegal and Nigeria, there's more diversity between those two than there is between Anglo-Saxons and Southeast Asians. So Indians and Chinese people are more closely related, have less diversity in their genes than these two places in Africa. I mean, anybody can Google that. They don't believe me. But that's just kind of a claim to where we stand with that. So yeah, I don't get it, man. You claim you're not African. They don't like that term and all that. And then they claim to be Indian. And, I don't know. It's just crazy. But I'm going to leave it at that, man. Just anybody want to look into the actual diversity and see how much variance exists on the continent, you'll see why it's such an ignorant thing to say what that dude was saying. But I'll land right there.
Okay. Somebody asked how much is the documentary? It's $10.99. And Johnny, you could put in your debit card information, right?
Yeah, I don't want to do that. It just takes longer.
Okay.
But I'll do it, man. I'll get it. Don't worry. I will.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Pharaoh, you next. Pharaoh.
Yes, peace. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Have you bought my documentary?
Yes, man. I purchased that documentary during the times of COVID, man.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. COVID. It wasn't out during COVID. COVID was 2020.
It was like, yeah, it was after, like, sometime after COVID. It was like, during the end of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me read these super chats real quick. Give me a second. Takazi 6544. Thank you for $10 holla. The average Black American has 25% European DNA. Also, genetic studies indicate that roughly 35% of Black American men have direct paternal Y DNA ancestry originating from a white male ancestor. Eric B 1902. Thank you for $5 holla. Black Americans have an average of 15% to 20% European DNA. Now, mine is only 12. But it also depends on the region. Black people in South Carolina average only 10%. Pape 5602, thank you for $10 holla. MFG, so your whole identity revolves around 300 plus years you spent with Europeans in the U.S. Also, you can't claim Black anymore. Africans were and are called Black first. Find a new word, you lame. Pape. Okay, here we go. Babaliko. Shout out to Babaliko, man. Let me give some roses to Babaliko. He's always contributing. Hey, Babaliko, I appreciate you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for $10 holla. Most Black Americans vote Democrat, the same party that destroyed them. M always talking division. That would be the downfall of FBA. And that's the point I was bringing him. Like, when you say, I forgot, did M drop off? Yeah, he dropped off. Yeah, but go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, but I might need to purchase that documentary again to refresh my memory, because that computer I had purchased on it. Yeah, that computer got shut down.
Well, Pharaoh. So guys, when you purchase a documentary, it's yours forever, man. Huh?
Yeah.
But Johnny, what you say, Johnny?
Yeah.
No, my bad. I was thinking out loud, man. My bad.
All right. Yeah. No, but what I was saying, if you bought the documentary, it's yours forever. You just gotta research your password.
Yeah. But I lost that computer though, so yeah.
No, I mean, but if you bought it, you just gotta reset your password.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I'll try that. Yeah, but if not, I wouldn't mind purchasing it
Okay,
again.
okay. Well, hey, well, buy another one. Go ahead, Pharaoh. Appreciate you,
Yeah,
my brother. Go ahead and buy
yeah,
another one.
but
Go ahead.
yeah, concerning the subject, yeah, what that guy said is ridiculous. He sat up there and said that history is a lie. Okay, now this is the problem I'm having with these communities and these fake groups. They always want to sit up there and say history is a lie, but their made up imagination is the truth. Yeah, but they always say history is a lie, but they never show any sources or any evidence to prove that the history that they're going against is a lie. So yeah, so when someone say that history is a lie, well then show me your history to prove that their history is a lie. And most of the time they can never do that because everything they're saying to go against history is made up, is fabricated and based on imagination. And that's the problem I have with these guys, man. I feel like if you don't like if you don't believe in history, then real history that came before us, then you have no business even trying to debate these guys because if you believe in the history, you can shut them down easily. Yeah, I shut them up easily, but yeah, these guys, man, it's definitely self-hate and and dishonesty and they have a like they want to they desperately want to hate on the original history, the original text, and the ancient ancestors who came before us. Okay, and they always claim the lighter skinned people. They never want to claim the real black people that's mentioned in the actual history, such as the Ethiopians, the Negroes, the Sudanese. They always want to claim the lighter skinned people, or the Indians, or the Hebrew Israelites, or or the Mediterranean people, the North African, the Carthaginian, but they always reject those real black people in the southern interior of the continent who were actually called black. And a lot of these people in history in North Africa were never even called black, except the Egyptians. The Egyptians were called black, but these Berbers and Israelites, they and the people in that region of Canaan, they were never called black because they were not black. Only the people who were actually called black were black. Okay, and these guys, they always want to hate on Egypt. They want to say, yeah, the hell with Egypt, and and the reason why they want to hate on Egypt because Egypt is real. Egypt got real history. Egypt got monuments, got pyramids, got ancient inscriptions, got statues, okay, and got evidence, have a king's list and evidence of real kings, okay, but they want to hate on Egypt and make up their own fake history and produce their own fake English text, so and try to be like Egypt, but they want to hate on Egypt. Yeah, so yeah, these guys are ridiculous, and they think being fake is cool. Okay, they think denying the ancestors is cool, and they think it's going to work, but it's never going to work. Okay, you have to reclaim your ancestors, embrace your ancestors, and make it right with the ancestors, or otherwise, black people, you're always going to be on the bottom. You're never going to rise against white supremacy. White supremacy always going to be amongst us, growing and rising, while we continue to decrease and become extinct. Okay, because you Negroes, you think this is a game, but it's not. You have to make it right with the ancestors. Okay, and the problem with most of you is you want to act like the ancient past never existed. Okay, because you're living in the present time. You think you can just disrespect the ancient ancestors and act like the past never existed. Well, guess what? The ancient past did existed when you didn't exist. Okay, of the people 2,000 years ago did existed 2,000 years ago, did existed 3,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, at a time when you didn't exist. Okay, but now that you're living today, you think it's cool where you can reject the ancestors and hate on the ancestors and act like they don't exist because you exist today, and that is wrong, and because you're doing that, you're never going to get anywhere. Okay, and in these fake Native American pretendians, they always want to try to add some antiquity. Yeah, always trying to add some ancient antiquity to their new made up fake claims in history. They want to say, oh, this go back 10,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. Okay, and there's no source and no text to even back it up. They just make it up and insert it on their own. So there needs to be like some type of ancient birth certificate to prove who your ancestors are.
Hey, we got 30 seconds. I gotta pass.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and they want to, and they do this because they want to make it seem like their new fake made up claim is got some antiquity on it, so they can save face and try to make it seem like, yeah, we didn't need the white man because we already had this. No, it don't work that way. Okay, we need to make it right with our ancestors. Okay, and embrace the people who come before us, or otherwise we're never going to get anywhere. We're always going to be on the bottom. And black people, until you claim what's real, nothing real is never going to happen to you. I mean, nothing real is never going to happen for you. So you need to take back what's real, and then real things will happen. And I'll land right there.
All right, go ahead, BD.
Peace, Prince.
Hey, Pete, fam, how was the documentary? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I bought the first edition that you had when you first rolled it out.
Okay. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes. Peace to everybody on the panel. Peace to the chat. Peace to everybody at home watching. To the topic, I want to first say, as far as FBA, I'm not against FBA delineating and wanting to do their own thing and have their own lineage in this country and all that. They, as a people, they do have that right. You know, they have the right to be self-sufficient and stand on their own too. You know, my only problem that I do have with them is when they make these unscientific and ahistorical claims. You know, and I think it falls on three, at least the way I've calculated it, it falls on 3 points. The first one is that some sincerely do feel that what they're saying is true. They just not might be educated, but in their heart of hearts, they do feel that what they're saying is true and that they're the natives, indigenous population of this country and all that. But it's not historical. Like even the other day, I even had somebody tell me that Egypt is really in America. The Mississippi River is really the Nile River. And I'm like, my man, the Nile River is 4,132 miles long. It's the longest river in the world. The Mississippi River is only 2,318 miles long. So how is the Mississippi River the Nile River? How was America Egypt? You know, so things like that. You know, that's one. The second point I think is the reason why a lot of FBAs don't want to identify with Africa is due to the propaganda that's been portrayed about Africa. Even though we're in the year 2026 in this Roman calendar, you'll be amazed to know that people still have these misconceptions about the continent of Africa being the backward, dark continent where we fight lions and we sleep on trees and everybody's doing voodoo and juju and all that. So I think that plays into some of the reason why they don't want to be associated with that, because it's looked negatively. And that's why they can use that. They can leverage that into their point of saying, when Africans come here, y'all fleeing, y'all leaving y'all country, y'all fleeing. Whereas they can say, well, this is our native land, so we ain't got to go nowhere. And I think it's based on fear. You know what I mean? Because a lot of FBA, they subscribe to the Bible, but when you read the Bible, all them tribes, especially in the Old Testament, that's all they was doing throughout the book, going to and fro, looking for a promised land, fleeing from where they was, going to this place, going to that place to look for a better settlement. So that's another thing. And the last point I think is due to the dissension and the culture clash that happened when Africans from the continent came here and met the African Americans or Black Americans, however you want to call them. Like for example, my people, they came to this country in the late 60s, early 70s. And when they came here, they started a lot of people in my family, they started driving taxis in New York. That's where they first landed when they came here. That's where I'm born. And they was driving taxi. You will not. If I tell you how many times that my family members who was driving taxis got robbed by FBAs, and some of them even got shot, and some of them even got killed, you wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that culture clash thing. You know what I mean? Where they call us African booty scratchers, and then this goes on the African side too. It's not, the blame ain't just on the FBAs, it's on the African side too. Because we ain't gonna sit here and pretend. Some Africans, not all, but some of them had some things that they were saying about African Americans and trying to separate themselves and not really hang with them. So all that boils into the powder keg to make that explosion. But it's false, man. We the same people. It's just the only thing is a little phenotypical differences because the African Americans they have been intermixed with the whites, you know what I mean? So they might have some genetics with them that don't make them look 100% Africans, but they still look African enough to where you could tell that, these people is Africans. And lastly, just to cut it up, because I know there's other people that want to speak, you can look at like even these rappers and actors. Like, ain't no way you can look at Nas and not see that Nas has Nigerian ancestry in him. The rapper Nas, even his middle name Oludara, that's a Yoruba last name. You know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne, Tupac, Omar Epps. If you can't look at these people and see they got African ancestry, I don't know what it is, man. But that's all I'm gonna say for right now. Thank you for letting me speak.
All right, go ahead, Ngolo.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's post-traumatic. I'm the new guy, so
brother, I'm
maybe it's my
speaking. Can you
turn.
hear me?
Greetings to the family. Greetings,
Shaw, it's not your
finest.
turn yet, Shaw. Shaw, it's not your turn
Bro,
yet.
his
I'm going
mic
until you
steady
stop,
doing
unless you
it.
stop me.
His mic
Post-traumatic
focus.
slave
Bro,
syndrome.
it's not your turn.
It's not your turn,
Okay,
Shaw.
well,
He can
I'm
go, bro.
going.
Let him
Nobody
go.
said
Let him
anything. I
go.
haven't spoken
Let him
yet.
go.
So
Have you
Shaw,
spoken yet? Shaw, it's not your turn
No,
yet.
man.
Flex
Just let him
haven't
go,
spoke. I
man.
don't know if you can hear everybody mic, but Flex is speaking now.
His mic
okay.
always bogus. He can speak, man.
No, Ngolo, go. Ngolo. Oh, he dropped off. Okay, go ahead, Ngolo.
What I was finna say is, I think this is just categorically most quote unquote African Americans view the world through the lens of Europeans, and it's not to no fault of their own. Like I've said before, it's just the culture. Like as far as value set, as far as phenotypically concerned, they're looking for the more alkaline features to try to align with, and but you could argue that that's global, but as far as quote unquote black people looking like Africans, I mean, the mongrelization, you can see the mongrelization of quote unquote people that are quote unquote African Americans, because you will have like I'm a direct example of it. Me, I'm extremely, I won't say extremely, I'm very light skinned. My people come from Louisiana, the southeast region, which is they call, I hate this term, but they call us Creole. But I'm like, my sister is middle type brown, and then my other sister is real brown. So it's like when you don't have a pedigree like that, that's how you know that people have imposed themselves in your genetics. But the weird thing I keep seeing, bro, from these people in the comments, like the sister said, she's talking about some 11% is a lot. No, it ain't. That's not a lot at all. And then they always be trying to tie themselves to the European. Like, I know for a fact, based upon my phenotype alone, that one of my ancestors was violated, and I've seen it through the census records as far as them being tied to certain plantations, and then them being them having their classification changed from mulatto one time, and then later on it was black. So I know they had to go through that sexual assault. But when it comes down to it, bro, it's like any European quote unquote DNA that I have within me, bro, is nothing to be proud of. If I seen that person, if I was alive, I would have took that person out, bro. It ain't nothing. I'm not that person, not my family. If I got any of them in my family, bro, they not my family, bro. Like, it is what it is. So I just think it's real weird that people try to take pride in being SA, and some people wasn't. They some of their people chose to be. For the vast majority, it was SA. But y'all let somebody else talk.
All right, go ahead, GM.
Question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, GMS.
Can I ask a quick question for all the 9 FBAs inside the building? Where are y'all getting this information that FBAs are somehow aligning themselves with white folks?
Culturally.
How?
Identifying, calling yourself an American is identifying with white folks.
No.
categorically.
So
hold on,
so every
GMS.
single
That can't be argued. Like, we can have a debate, but it's I'm gonna easily destroy and win. Like, that's
let GMS.
see that's
GMS. This is the host talking. Give me would ADOS be considered FBA theoretically?
I class. What do you mean by is ADOS considered FBA? Both of them are ethnically the same. They're talking about the same group of people.
Okay, so Yvette Carnell has said herself that she has more in common with white people than anything African.
But again, FBA is a lineage. It's not a group of people. People going to have different opinions.
So ADOS is in a lineage as well?
ADOS is an ethnic group, just like FBA is an ethnic group. These are classifications that other human beings created, but we're talking about a specific ethnic group. Period.
So ADOS is not an ethnic group.
Yes, it is.
So you guys
we're speaking about the same. FBA and ADOS is speaking about the exact same ethnic group. It's just different classifications.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Now, would you want to answer to your question?
Well, I mean, yeah, GMS. Yeah, I don't know. GMS, anything you want to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I just wanted that simple question because it seems like y'all are adding extra things to the consistency of FBAs as though we're seeing these things, or y'all. It's like a pool of assumption. Like, where are y'all getting this from?
Bro, what are you talking? It ain't no assumption.
No. Hold on.
We don't live with these people.
No. Let GMS talk. It's his turn. Let him talk.
Like, where are y'all getting this from? All I keep hearing y'all say is, "Oh, we think we want to be white people and all this stuff." That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Have y'all even spoken to actual FBA people that says this out their mouth? It sounds like
look at
all
what
of y'all
they
are just assuming.
patronize.
It's not about patronizing. Have you heard this verbally come out anybody's mouth?
Yes.
Name them.
Let me see. You got one of the biggest rappers out here running around.
You talking about a rapper?
No, I mean, I can give you. I was gonna list down multiple examples, brother. Like,
go ahead.
I'm starting with what y'all value the entertainers a lot. I was gonna give one. You got one rapper calling herself what? Lotto, like that. Of course,
Lotto
that like
is a mulatto.
You're calling yourself
Her
a
name
mule.
is literally Lotto.
I know that's
and,
again, that's showing affinity to be black. But I'm saying black people supporting her shows that it's the clinging to trying to be to that standard. But we all know that that's the case.
Yeah. But if I can object, per the definition of FBA, I don't know what her father is FBA or not, but if her father is FBA, she's still be considered FBA, white mom or not.
Yeah, they do that. But that's just quote unquote African American culture. If you got a drop of black blood, they let anybody be talking about they black.
And
they don't care if you biracial or not.
I'm glad that you said that, brother, because that is the problem. That is the reason why FBA is necessary, because we allowed too many of you all people that claim to be a part of this black unity, black culture to cosplay as us. We really y'all not us.
Who said that they y'all though? What are you talking?
Y'all morals.
Could I answer this question?
Exactly.
Just what you're talking about. Your morals.
Nah, but who's claiming to have? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, who? Give an example of somebody that's claiming to be y'all that, but y'all don't even have a codified. Bro, when did I ever say that I'm FB? I don't even like using them words, bro. I'm not y'all at all. Culturally, I'm not the same as y'all. Morally, nothing. I have nothing in common with y'all at all. I just come from the quote unquote. The quote unquote group.
What are you ethnically?
Ethnically, I consider myself Bamana.
Okay, I'll let my plane. Yeah, you got it.
Can we speak?
It's Bamana.
Yeah, go ahead, Shaw. Go ahead, Shaw.
Okay, I've been having problems with my StreamYard. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, so I apologize if I'm speaking and other people are speaking. Just wanted to say ADOS, just for clarity, is American Descendants of Slaves. It is a political organization, a nonprofit. And we all also know 6 years ago there was no foundational Black Americans. Yeah, there was no before 6 years ago. It is new, and it started a lot of it started on Twitter, and those people who were on Twitter in the early days, uh, broke off and fragmented into different things like Secure the Tribe and Black First, and you name a bunch of other ones. So, and the Secure the Tribe was about being Indians, that they were Black Indians, you know. But anyway, so a lot of that conversation was happening in Twitter, and there was a lot of conversation and back and forth with Pan Africanists and blah blah blah. But anyway, just touch on quickly on the on human beings, right? So if real human beings, the original human, I shouldn't say real, I should say, if it what it means to be human started in Africa, started with Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens, then that would be Black folks or African folks, for lack of better words. And in that is the most diverse in terms of genetics of humans it today and back then. So if the most diverse genetics of humans till this day is different variations of brown and black, then that must be for original humans what the look is for humans and its diversity and its look. That doesn't mean that if you go and get caught up in the ice age, or you go to Asia and you get, eyes that are, I forgot the name of it, slanty eyes. Your skin tone.
Epicantic fold.
Thank you. Doesn't mean that you're not human. It just means that your genetics mutated to because of your environment, because of the cold or the ice age or whatever, you got lighter, and you needed to have that to survive. It doesn't mean that you're not human. It just means that you changed to be able to survive. But that is a selective mutation that makes you less diverse. Boom. That's all that it is. And sometimes you'll have some white people or Asian people that can remind you of Black people because we belong to the human family. So here's the thing: if you have dark skinned Indians in the United States, um, they came from Africa at some point, and they maintain more of their African genetics in terms of their melanin. And if the way they're claiming it, the way they look, they maintain identical characteristics of Central and West African phenotypes. I mean, identical because they're looking like Central and West Africans. But it doesn't it's not quite adding up for me, because when I look at the other Asiatic looking Native Americans in this country, how are they existing in the same ethnic group that y'all are claiming, right? For the most part, I mean, there's still story to come out. A lot of them died when Native Americans came over here. A lot of them died. Like on the islands, 90% of the Tainos and Arawaks and Caribs died from disease of the Europeans. On the mainland, not as bad, but 80% died. And then they took 300,000 out of the New England area. I guess it was New England or Eastern United States. 300,000 on top of, you had 10 to 15 million that died to the Caribbean. So the populations has gone way down, and they bring 300,000 of us to the United States. So now we have to take all of that into consideration. But none of that really is the issue. The issue is post-traumatic slave syndrome, as Dr. Joy DeGruy has been talking about lately. She's calling it that, and her research is saying the reason why we deny Africa, and that we quickly go to the slave trade in the conversation, don't have nothing to do with the slave trade, but the Africans being complicit in it, and they bottleneck in history right at that point and can't see nothing else, is because it's a survival thing. Dr. DeGruy is saying it's a survival thing to deny your African ancestry to survive in this country. I'll land with this right here. My folks come from Louisiana too, so for me, it has always been there's I'm used to this light skin, brown skin, dark skin. All of these are just naturally our shade. I'm from the West Coast. That's what our communities look like. That's what my family looks like. So for me, it's about culture. You could be light skinned, but what is your ethos, or what is your vibe? Are you vibe? Is your vibe like somebody black? Do you know the black culture? Are you in the black culture? Because you can tell. And that's a big part of it for me. I will say this to all my brothers and sisters: you got to love every part of yourself. I love the French of myself, even though I don't like how it got into my genetics. I don't like it, but I can't deny it because it's me. I've got to love every aspect of me, and that goes for you FBAs too. You may not like the African part of you, and I don't know how you don't, because Africa is the bomb. We are the humans. We're the original humans. We got the history. We got everything. So how you don't like that? I don't get it. Love every part of you, and that's pretty much what I gotta say. I mean, that's not a good ending, but boom.
All right, go ahead, Teddy on politics. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I just
hey, Teddy, how did you buy my documentary?
No, not yet.
Come on,
No,
man.
not yet.
Come on, Teddy. Come on, Teddy.
Not
Come
yet.
on, Teddy. Why not?
I just haven't got around to it.
When
Just
you
being
gonna buy my
honest.
documentary? When you gonna buy my documentary?
I can't hold me. You can't hold me to anything. But I say I will buy it. I will buy it. I will buy it.
Everybody who's watching this, please buy the documentary In Search of Uhuru. Please go to documentary.searchforuhuru.com, documentary.searchforuhuru.com, and please buy my documentary. I bootstrapped this myself. So please go and support you guys and buy the documentary. And everybody has bought it so far. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for answering the call and buying the documentary. Thank you. I am begging. I am begging. I ain't too proud to beg. Absolutely. Somebody said he begging. Absolutely, I am. So Teddy, I need
Support
you
Brother
to.
Dinus.
Yeah, thank you. So Teddy, I need you to buy the documentary.
Okay, so I just wanted to address the one person that was saying something about how do non-FBA people think that FBA is trying to be white adjacent or white or whatever he said and stuff. So yes, the same talking points that white nationalists use, FBA uses the exact same talking points. They have that replacement type mantra going on. They're anti-immigrant. Specifically, they're worse than white nationalists because they're specifically anti-black immigrant. They're not anti-everybody immigrant or all the other immigrant groups. They focus on anti-black immigrants, which I find strange because you would want more black folks in America, not less. All the other immigrant groups, the Mexicans want more Mexicans. The Asians want more Asians. The East Indians want more East Indians. Everybody wants more of their own people except for y'all folks. Y'all want less black folks, not more. And they complain. There's strength in numbers. That's my point. There's strength in numbers. So you have the same white nationalist talking points, which leads me to think, and I'm not alone in this, that you want to be as white adjacent as possible. That's how you're being white. And another thing is, you're worse than white nationalists, because at least white nationalists don't hate other white folks. They don't hate other white folks. The FBA hates other black folks. That's worse than them. I could see you having a problem with other groups, but with your own people, it makes no sense. Makes no sense. So that's all I wanted to say. I just want to address that person who's saying that how do we think that you're trying to be white or white adjacent? That's how. That's it.
Okay. Hey, Teddy, when you gonna buy my documentary?
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
Okay. Appreciate
really quickly.
Go ahead.
Notice how this brother just said what he just said. He said that we are worse than white nationalists.
You are worse than white nationalists.
I completely disagree with that. But go ahead.
How do you? White nationalists don't go around hating other white folks. They
They actually be.
Yeah, they don't go around saying, "Well,
doing violence
I
against
hate the
people."
French,
though,
or I hate the English, or I hate the Russians, or I hate the Germans. They don't say that. They don't have a problem with other white folks.
Yes,
they got
they
a
do.
problem with
definitely
other
do.
non-white.
They
Have you
definitely do.
have you ever heard of someone called Adolf Hitler?
What about it? What? Yeah. Who hasn't? What's your point?
Bro,
I
I
mean,
agree
he is
with
really
you
a
on
national
sentiment,
socialist, though. But you
but
are
but
correct, though.
but he was a supremacist too, white supremacist.
Yeah,
And you
he is.
dude's right, but there is a lot of infighting within supremacy type groups and nationalist type groups with different
My
races and stuff, including white supremacy.
They don't. But
yeah,
they
but
don't have
They
no.
do,
that be
bro.
people
They
that be
do.
siding with their
They do
ops.
not have an online movement or a pseudo movement, whatever you want to call it, because
They
it's not
might
a
hate
movement.
others for being
They
Catholic, you know what I mean? But
they hate.
Polish.
They don't. They
There's
hate
other
their
reasons.
they might have a problem with their religion because that doesn't make any sense when they hate
But
the Jewish people. And they're white. They don't. They have a problem with. They don't have a problem with them being white. They have a problem with them being practicing Judaism.
there are other white people. I was just answering your point on that. But I just think one thing to add to what you were saying that I think is causing a little bit of confusion. When you refer to FBA, you're referring to the group, and I think some people are misconstruing that you're referring to just everybody who's African American or black.
No,
You know,
well, they identify as a group.
nah,
They're not a group.
you gotta specify. It's not all black people you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
Specifically.
it's not. I do separate other Black Americans.
I think it was a little bit of
African
confusion
Americans,
on this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I
No, but I
understand.
mean, that's still the sentiment still applies to a lesser degree. I think the average quote unquote African American still wants to be white adjacent just in behavior. It's just the program of the
come
United
on,
States.
Flex.
I gotta be honest,
That's
bro.
true at all. I honestly don't think that's true at all. But
Nah, I'm not saying consciously. I'm talking about subconsciously and really. I mean, consciously, yeah, consciously. But I don't think they necessarily literally want to be white. I'm saying they want to be culturally adjacent to the people, to the group. They want to cling on to the successes that they perceive them to have, the culture, everything, the affinity. But it's not really to them. They view it as their culture, but it's not though.
Yeah, and just to kind of piggyback on that, yeah, why do Black folks in America want to, well, I want to go live in the suburbs. I want to go to send my kids to white schools. I want to do all this other things that white folks do. If you're not trying to be white, if you're not trying to be white adjacent,
the reason why these things happen.
Now you're giving this
is
motherfucker
because
fuel, man.
The reason why these things happen is simply because of white supremacy racism. The attacking of Black communities forces people to move out of those non-impoverished neighborhoods.
That's not true.
Simply,
that's nonsense.
Listen, that's 100% true. That's
not true. People choose to leave. People choose to leave their own neighborhoods and don't refurbish them and allow the property value to increase. They want to be white adjacent because your property value is gonna appreciate in a different neighborhood that's not yours.
Listen, brother, that's the reason why you don't know what you're talking about, because
hey, got 30 seconds. I gotta pass the mic.
What is the reason that the property value is going down to begin with? Because white supremacy racism is intentionally taking money out of these neighborhoods to make them worse.
I gotta pass the mic. Go ahead, Miss Muhammad. Unmute yourself, Miss Muhammad.
Thanks, Dinus.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think the situation with Black people and thinking they don't look like Africans, I think some of it stems from this whole thing that, Africans don't like us and we don't like each other. But the biggest deal, I think, is most African Americans do not mingle with Africans. I've been accused of being an African most of my adult life. I was born here on this continent. So were my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents also. But I've been approached by people from Guinea, from Gambia, and Senegal asking me if I was from their place. Some people even have walked up to me and started speaking their language. But we look very much alike. A woman had to take a double take look, and she said I look just like her sister. And I even met a woman from Ethiopia about 20 years ago. She said I look like one of her relatives. So I don't know why people think we don't look alike, because Africa has very, very dark people. There's also very light people. I'm about the color of peanut butter or so. But there's a lot of Africans who are a lot fairer than I am, and they're not mixed with nothing. So I don't understand where people get the concept that we don't look alike.
Okay,
That-
appreciate you.
That's
Oh,
all
go
I
ahead,
got.
Miss Mama. Go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Mama. Go ahead.
Um, but I was also going to add to that the when I was first told that Africans don't like us, I was on my way to college, so I made it a point to get to know Africans, and that's when I first really started mingling with them. And some of the nicest people I ever met. And that's when I started mingling when I was 18. And that was about 40 years ago. I'm 55 now. So, and I still, one of my best friends is a Gambian. When people say that to when my children's friends, or they hear other people say that, people their age, I stopped that rumor with my children, because I have my African friend. If I drop my children off with her and I don't even say nothing, I'll be back. I gotta go. She ain't gonna ask me no questions. She's gonna take care of my children like she takes care of hers, and I will do the same for her. So, and people say, "Oh well, they don't. They talk about this." Most of the children in school who bothered my children were African American children. They were African. They said my children looked African too, and I mean that's because I think we all look the same personally. But and all the times I've been to Africa, I've seen Africans that look like some people that I know. And even when I'm on the continent, I see little children, playing the dozens, talking about children. I see African children doing the same things that the black children over here do. So a lot of our culture is the same, and we look the same. Even a lot of our food is the same. For the people, some of my relatives are from Louisiana too. I would say jambalaya is kind of akin to jollof rice. And for
Not,
people
not,
that know,
not, not, not kind of. It is.
It's
yeah.
directly. Most of us
And
came in
so,
Louisiana came from the Senegambia region
yeah, and
in the French
my
period.
people, my mom's people are Gullah Geechee, and my dad's people, they were from Louisiana, but they came from Haiti actually. But the food is the same. I would say if you've had ebe, I would say it's a lot like gumbo. The stuff is, to me, it's a lot of the same. Now I've had some FBA people argue with me that it wasn't, and they said I must be African. I can't be from Louisiana talking like that. It's the same. That's all I got right now. Thank you.
I wanna add real quick.
Um,
Gumbo is the word for okra in Africa. So it literally is
Yeah,
a direct
Igbo, I think.
correlation. Yeah.
You see, I'm glad that these connections are being put into light, because it's very unfortunate. I'm saying it again, that the FBA movements have made so much effort to isolate some of these points and some of these connections, because, like I said, it's an agenda to cut African Americans from their African ancestry and from their connection to the continent. It's a deliberate effort, and the war is still continuing. So we have to, any way we can push back, I would recommend that it has to be pushed back. I'll stop there. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
Yes, I agree with everything the sister said and the brother saying, but I think it's to add to what the brother just said. Uh, the most threatening ideology and groups is Pan Africanism to the Western world, and so this has been something since back in the when I was coming up in the 80s and befriending college folks, from I met a brother named Ogechi from Nigeria. First encounter with a brother from the continent, I think. My sister dated this guy who was from Nigeria, and that was in the 70s. But yeah, it becomes a threat to them, because if we organize our folks here and we have and our allies are our kin, our family and kin on the continent, in the Caribbean and in South America, that's a big problem for them. And maybe even especially the continent, because of what the continent represents and how their interest in the continent has continued on. And it's as you can hear them talking politically in their geopolitical conversations in these conferences they've been having in Europe lately, is how they are going to recolonize the world and Africa in particular, specifically. They're just saying it right in our face, and we do have some conversation about it. But a lot of times in some of these other spaces, they don't want to hear about Africa. How you always talking about Africa? This is the United, and I'm saying I'm talking about the United States right now, and all of the things that the United States have done politically, because a lot of times it's the political conversations. The Global Fragility Act that Madeleine Albright and her crew created in 2019 to deal with instabilities in countries in the world. So they make these partnerships with these countries to help to stop instability. Listen to the countries: Libya, Papua New Guinea, Haiti, Mozambique. I think it's Benin and Ivory Coast and Ghana, I believe. So two or three of those countries are the agreements that they have. Then you have the HR 7311, which is countering the malign effects of Russian propaganda in Africa and in the United States among the African diaspora. Who do you think they're talking about? Nigerians or continental Africans? They're talking about all of us. And Gregory Meeks from Queens, congressman from Queens, sits on the foreign committee, is the one that created that bill. And so that is basically constituting COINTELPRO. So you have these types of political things that are going on that we're not interested in because we don't think that it's, at least amongst the political conversation, we're not interested because that's Africa. That ain't got nothing to do with us. So then part of that propaganda thing is countering malign effects of propaganda. They banned African Stream, which is a channel of, kind of informational channel that is on the continent that these brothers are doing really good work. Brothers and sisters are doing good work. After Anthony Blinken made this announcement right around the time he was going into Nigeria to try to get Tinubu to go into Niger through as ECOWAS president to to take over and reinstate Bazoum as president. Right around that time is when they banned African Stream. So they're actually doing this work, and we're just la 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 la. The FIFA game is more important. The FIFA is more important to Black folks than education and knowing these other things. But I thank you for having this platform so we can discuss these things and bring ourselves to awareness with some of these things going on. I land right there.
Okay, go. James, you're up. Go ahead, Mr. Harlow. Unmute yourself, sir. James.
How you guys is doing?
Good.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Great panel. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Call back in. There's something wrong with your sound. Call back in. All right, let me read these super chats. Let me read these super chats. Let's see here. Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $5 holla. I know Democrats and Republicans don't give a damn about Black people. All gas, no brakes. 123. Thank you for $4.99 holla. How is it a lineage of Tariq says that is an amalgamation of Native Americans, African, and white admixture? Please explain that. All right. Shout out to Root Boy and Lex Knows TVs for the gems. I don't know what these gems are for, but hey, we gonna count it all joy. We appreciate you for the gems. All right, and guys, friendly reminder: if you have not bought my documentary, please go and buy my documentary. I will greatly appreciate it. Go to documentary.searchforreal.com, The link is on the screen and is in the chat room. There's 216 of you watching. Please support and buy the documentary. I will greatly appreciate it. This is part of my life's work right here. So please go and support. I bootstrap this myself. You know, I don't do the there's nothing wrong with that. I don't do the GoFundMe and then do the documentary. I put out all my products and services first, then ask you guys to patronize and support so we can keep this thing going. So please buy the documentary. Go to documentary.searchforrua.com. Yes, it is only $10.99, you guys, and it's yours forever. You set up a login, and you can watch it anywhere you want to, stream it anywhere you want to, for the rest of your life, as long as the apocalypse or Armageddon doesn't happen, or the rapture. Now, the rapture happens, I don't know what to tell you. Chanel Harry 6376, thank you for the 200 gems. Flow State, appreciate you. Again, I don't know what these are for, but we gonna count it all joy. All right, y'all. Whoever wants to speak. And I'll put the link in the chat room if you guys want to call in and add to the convo. Can y'all hear me?
I hear
I
you.
just don't. I
Yeah,
don't
we
want to
can
go
hear
because
you.
I've been talking. I
Okay.
want to hear somebody
Dinus,
talk that ain't
I'm
talking.
gonna have to go, but I got you. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yes, the documentary is definitely child friendly. In fact, watch it with your kids, watch it with your family, your nephews, your nieces. Absolutely, absolutely. It's somebody needs to turn off the playback. Somebody needs to turn off the playback. Yeah, so somebody needs to turn off the playback. Somebody needs to move up and turn off the playback. Yes, it's definitely that's what friendly. All right, D Zali, go ahead.
Oh, hey, brother. I didn't expect to get on so soon, but I definitely want to contribute something to the panel. Firstly, I want to say greetings to you and everyone else there. But what I wanted to bring to the table concerning this FBA versus African thing, first of all, it is very tiring. And like I said last time, in 2026, we no longer have to lie about certain things that we were not proud about, in the past. When people say that they don't think that we are African or we never came from Africa, we don't have to lie about that now. I mean, if you don't see the commonalities and similarity, you may be a very low IQ person. No offense meant. That is part of the intellect test, the ability for someone to recognize similarities. For someone to say that Africans and African Americans have no similarity, are not the same people, respectfully, you may have a very low intellect, and then some people try and lie and say, they've been all over Africa and we don't look nothing like Africans and none of our commonalities similar. Stop lying, bro. I mean, you can't build anything on a lie, on a broken foundation. That's where I am with our people. We don't have to lie now. We can embrace our history and what we are, where our people came from. You can't build on a broken foundation, which is a lie. Like me, I'm not Pan-African per se, but I have the education to accept that we descend from Africans. And I say once more, you can't build off of a lie. The science, the history shows that we descend from Africans. When I took my DNA test, I am 97% African, 3% German, and my ancestors been here since slavery. 97% African. And we had those Indian oral stories in our family about our grandma, our great grandma had Indian hair. I'm 97% African.
You don't have no Indian in you?
Zero. 97% African.
That's
And
a blessing.
I was like, damn, were my people so ugly that the white man didn't even want to mess with them? Tongue in cheek. But Yeah, I'm just saying we don't have to darn lie, people. And we don't have to bring African tribalism here. You know, that's partially why Africa was conquered, because of the tribalism. And these people are picking up that same tribalism. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Let's say I delineated long ago. I said, all right, I am my own ethnic group. I am American Black American. That was very simple. I did not have to say I have delineated from those stinking tethers, from those Africans over here trying to steal everything. I hate those Africans. I'm not African. I just said, all right, we are our own ethnic group. Fine. It was that simple. They have been delineating for what, 2, 3, 4, 5 years now? It doesn't take that long because actually what y'all do is spend your damn time talking about Africans, talking about Haitians, talking about Jamaicans. Delineating only takes you to say we are our own ethnic group. Everyone knows that. Africans know it, Haitians know it, Jamaicans know it. No one's trying to damn be us, you know. But I will end with, it's not what you do, it's how you do it, Mr. Tariq. But I land there. Thank y'all.
And we don't need no other name other than African American, because if folks come from other places, and if we say that we're African American, or if we say that we're purple dots, and that's our name of our ethnic group, purple dots. The name of our ethnic group is African Americans, and we'll use Black Americans interchangeably. That's the name of our ethnic group. And if folks come from Nigeria, they're Nigerian American, or they come from wherever, they're Caribbean, they're Jamaican American, or whatever. So you don't have to change your name because of the quote unquote ambiguity of it. Somebody could be, they're from Africa, so they could say African American. Not if the definition of African American, it means that you come through this experience, this genesis of chattel slavery in the United States. If that's your definition of what your ethnic group is, that's what it is. So what's the big what are we doing?
No, they want no ties to
I don't
being
get it.
considered
I really
African, though,
don't. We
brother.
need a
That's the whole
name that
point.
nobody else can come into, and it just doesn't make sense to me. We were Negro at one time. We were colored. I mean, that right there, the fact that we've gotten all these
So
names shows
wait,
you
so hold on. Why do we
there's
have to pick
something to
African
this
American?
identity that is an issue. We
Why do
need to
we?
pay attention to it and look at it. When I
Because
was
niggas
Why
coming
do
messed
up
we
in
have
the
up
to pick?
80s, it was that
What?
we changed from Black to African American,
We didn't change
and that
anything.
was what, we were
We didn't
coming
change
with
that.
at the 80s, and this had nothing to
Yeah,
do with
we didn't
Jesse
change
Jackson
that.
naming us. Jesse Jackson didn't name us African
He did.
American. He
Yes,
just
he did.
made
He
this
came up with
announcement
it,
because
and
that's what the conversation was
no,
going on
nobody
all
No,
wanted
over
to
the
be called.
country,
absolutely,
especially in the colleges
Hold
and the
on.
absolutely.
Black
They
My
Students
did not.
Department.
mother, my
Because at
mother
that
was born in
time, it was a whole
1943. She
renaissance
did
going
not
on
consider herself
with
African American till this day.
this Black academia intelligentsia. It was really popping. We had scholars. Everybody was going to these scholars. It was Dr.
Nobody wanted to
Ben,
be
Dr.
called African
Clark. All these
American,
folks were
sir.
speaking at different things, and the
No, they weren't.
conversation was about changing our curriculums in our school. That was and when you watch those old Phil Donahue shows, you'll see that was a lot of the people were aware of education and how the
What? Phil
curriculum
Donahue?
uh, is a
What?
huge thing that we had to deal with, and it was just an awareness of the
What
time.
does that have to do
Now we're
with
not
calling
talking about
African
that at
American?
all. It's
What does
like
that have to
it's
do?
totally gone. It's
What the hell are
disappeared,
you
and
talking
they've done a
about?
lot of dismantling of those
Yeah, I don't think
programs.
he can hear you.
And that's why you got
I
people
don't think you
that
can
are
hear me either because you're
ahistoric
just
talking
saying
about the
stuff that don't
Indians
make sense.
because of
Nah, the
that.
way
And
what
I
he's
would say
saying is at
we
the end,
shot our
Sean.
best shot. We could have had more
They
help.
don't
Hey,
even have
Shaw,
nothing to
Should
do
have
Shaw,
with
no,
that.
you
instituted
can't hear. Shaw,
those programs
Shaw,
more
Shaw,
and keep them going,
Shaw,
because
Shaw.
everything that we
But his mic is so
Yeah,
bogus.
his mic is messed up. Truth teller, go ahead,
Oh,
truth teller.
I
Shaw, you
I'm just
can't.
jumping
Shaw, you
in.
can't hear. Go ahead, truth
Oh,
teller.
he can't hear. All right, cool. I was just jumping in because I find it real weird. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I grew up in multiple multicultural cities in the United States. I grew up in New York City. I lived in Miami. I lived in Florida. We don't look alike. None of us do. So I don't know why we all of a sudden we got to look like Africans for some strange reason. I don't get it.
We do.
Wait,
We
can you
don't.
say what
You
you
know,
mean? None of us don't qualify that.
we
What you
know
mean by
because
that?
Jamaicans don't look like Haitians. There is a difference, and you
What?
can tell. You
So
laughing?
now Jamaicans and Haitians have their own specific phenotype. This is crazy, bro.
No, I didn't say
They
they have their
actually
own
don't.
specific. Hold on. You need to listen better. Just because you have a similar phenotype doesn't mean you look the same.
What are
Japanese
you
people,
talking? That's literally the definition of phenotype.
Sir, Japanese people look different than Chinese people, but they have the same phenotype. Korean people look
you
different.
could not
Hold
differentiate
on.
a
Let me finish.
Japanese and
Let
Chinese
me
person if you
finish.
seen
Let
them
me
in real
finish.
time.
Koreans look different than Filipino people. They got the same phenotype. But I don't know why you think suddenly for us here in the States, suddenly our phenotype matches every single black person across this world. If you talk to a Jamaican and you talk to a Haitian, they can tell you the difference in look. They look at each other and say he's Haitian or he's Jamaican.
That's nonsense.
That's what they do.
That's
You can call it nonsense all you
nonsense.
want.
You cannot do this, bro.
I hear what you're saying.
Hey, look,
I hear what you're saying.
let him finish. Let him
Right.
finish. Go ahead.
But I'm talking about what's happening in reality on the street. We do look different. We don't look alike. Now we have dark skin, some of us, right? We got similar phenotypes, big lips, maybe wider nose. Yeah, similar, but we do have different looks. You can tell if your experience with living amongst these people, you can tell who looks like who. You know what a Mexican looks like versus what a Puerto Rican looks like. You're not going to sit here and say they all the same. That's ridiculous.
A totally different mix.
How is it a different mix?
Because when you talking about a Puerto Rican, they have largely more African people brought to the island. Mexicans,
You know there's black Mexicans,
take more of the. I know, but they're a large minority. You're not going to get as much
I'm
African
talking about the black Mexicans.
But they're not the black quote unquote black Mexicans. They're not going to look like and if you compare them to a Puerto Rican, they would look similar. That with the same mixture percentage.
No, they
would
don't.
Look the
they
same.
don't look similar at all. Just like Peruvians don't look like Mexicans.
It depends. Again, Peruvians have more direct African contact.
So
if you look at a quote unquote Native American Peruvian and compare that to somebody that's in Michoacan, they're gonna look the same in Mexico.
How can they be different people but we can't?
Bro, it's not about you're bringing in pseudoscience. First of all, you're comparing
any science.
Yeah, no, because yes, you are because you're talking about phenotypes. Again, when you compare phenotypes and that denotes genetics.
I just gave you examples of people in a particular racial group that don't look alike, and you told me that's
but that's not okay. So now so scientifically, how are Jamaicans and Haitians a racial group, and how are quote unquote Black Americans, or whatever term you want to use, a racial group?
Well, for one, in both those companies, they don't use racial classifications, right? So when they come here, there's only one racial classification, which is the one that was designated for us, which is why delineation is necessary.
You didn't answer my question.
Hold on, my man, let me finish. If they come here and they're designated the same race as us, how do you tell the difference?
There is no, brother, you can't tell no difference on average.
Us, but Peruvians and Mexicans is different.
No, first, that's a straw man. I never said that. That's a false premise that you saying.
Well,
I'm not saying that.
Hold on. Hey, Skywalker, you know what I'm about to ask you.
Give me a chance, Diners. Give me a chance. Now.
Skywalker, come on, man. Oh, come on.
I ain't got it yet, but give me a chance. At least I'm telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? At least I ain't lying. So yeah, I got it.
You say that yesterday, Skywalker.
Yeah. Guys, y'all some pocket watching brothers, man.
Hell yeah, we are. Skywalker, I'll ask you. But Skywalker, for real. No. Hold on. Let me.
I want to hear what
Skywalker. I don't ask for much. Okay.
No, I got you.
I do, but you've been telling me you got me for the past 3 days.
No, that was just the other day. But look, give me a chance, my brother. I got you.
What does that mean? Give you what's that mean, Skywalker?
I mean, I got to,
just go off and do it right quick and then come back on.
Come on, man. Skywalker, come on. Skywalker. Hey, Skywalker, I'm gonna give you a chance right now. So I'm gonna remove you from the panel. You got a minute. It'll only take a minute, my brother. All right, go ahead.
I mean, it's only $11 though.
All right. Go ahead. So somebody's crumbling some paper or something. You got to stop.
No, what dude is saying is a complete and utter nonsense. I mean, if you did a just social experiment and you lined up 100 Haitians next to 100 Jamaicans, you would not be able to tell the difference between the two,
It's
bro. That's
because
just
you
complete
don't know
utter
you don't know
nonsense.
those people. Those
I
people know the
do.
difference, though.
I do. I can tell by the way they speak, and I can tell by their mannerisms.
I'm not even talking
in
about the way
certain
they
instances,
speak.
but it's
Just
definitely
looking,
not phenotype.
just looking at them. I grew up with both groups. You're not telling me something I don't know.
That's nonsense.
So I'm trying to figure out what's your experience with both groups.
What you're saying can't be substantiated though. I grew up in the same environments with
where did
both
you grow
groups,
up?
even
Tell me.
more.
Where'd
I
you
grew
grow
up
up?
I grew up in this greater Chicago area.
All right. How many do you have a high Haitian and Caribbean population in Chicago? Tell the truth.
Nah,
I know it's not the case.
I didn't get interacting with real Caribbeans like that until I was in like Florida and around that areas, like in Orlando.
Well,
and then when I traveled down to South Florida.
I was born and raised in New York, and I lived in Florida for 20 years. I know them very well. You don't have the experience to tell the difference. You just think they all look the same.
though.
Nah, I don't say they all look the same as far as the individual groups.
keep
I'm
saying
saying
phenotype. Can you be
compared to
specific?
them. No, I'm saying they don't all literally look the same as far as when you. I'm not saying all Haitians look the same or all Jamaicans look the same. I'm saying between the two
they
though,
don't look
they look
alike.
similar and it's the same.
They only look similar to you because you don't have experience with differentiating them.
They look similar to me, and I do have the experience.
So all I'm asking is that you substantiate this. It's not anecdotally. It's to substantiate this. Give me some type of experiment. We gotta see it in real time.
Just like the experiment you described. If
accurate.
you lined up 5 Haitians and you lined up 5 Jamaicans,
That's not a big enough sample size.
Give me a second. Jesus Christ. If you lined up 5 Haitians and 5 Jamaicans and you brought a Haitian in and said, hey, tell me who's Haitian and tell me who's Jamaican, you don't think they'd be able to point out who's Haitian and who's Jamaican? You a lie.
Nope.
That's not a big enough sample size though. 5 people is not
You're
a
not
big
the
enough
only
sample
one that
size.
grew up with Haitians. I grew up with Haitians also. So you're not the only one.
Sir, my wife is Jamaican. I know them. Y'all are talking to somebody who knows.
This is pseudo-scientific
You're not
nonsense.
making
Nobody cannot
sense.
physically insist
That you
on
can't
saying that they
substantiate.
know what they look like.
These people were brought from the
Do we
same
have a
places
Haitian
in
on
Africa.
Do we have a Haitian on the panel?
I got family members who are Haitian.
Cool. Do we have a Haitian member on the panel?
One of my
I
ancestors
got
came
family
from
members
Saint Domingue, but they're not
who are
Haitian though, because it
I
wasn't
got
called
I got
Haitian.
Haitians, I got Dominicans, I also got Jamaicans also in my family.
So can you tell the difference between a Jamaican and a Haitian?
Unless you speak, I cannot tell the difference unless you open your mouth and speak.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Jersey.
What part of New Jersey?
Bergen County.
Okay. What's the Caribbean?
They got a huge Caribbean population.
What's the Caribbean population in that county, sir? I already know what the demographics of that county
Okay,
look
so
like,
you got Jamaicans, you got Trinidadians,
Right.
you got Dominicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Peruvians, you got Colombians. You got
And you can't tell
whole
the
bunch of
difference
groups.
between none of them?
I said unless you listen clearly what I said.
No, I'm talking about looking at them, not speaking.
Listen clearly. Listen clearly what I said. If you have put Jamaicans, you put Haitians all together in one room, unless they open their mouth, you're not gonna know.
No, who is looking? I said if you put a Haitian in that room, or you put
you just sat here. You just said that. By
You're in
me
denial.
looking at them that I could tell you. You cannot tell.
What was the
Listen, let me tell you.
Stop it. Just stop.
Hold on.
Just stop.
Hold on before you lose it.
Hold on. No,
Before you lose it, who is the person?
Let me respond to this
Who
guy,
is the
right?
person I set an example that was looking?
I got a family member who's Haitian that's married to my family, right?
Okay.
And guess what?
So?
When he goes to my country, they start speaking in a dialect, but he doesn't speak the dialect, but he speaks French.
Okay. So
you're trying to tell me that how come they didn't know?
What do you mean they didn't know? What are you talking about?
You just sat here. You just said I could look at someone and I could tell this person's Jamaican, this person Haitian because you
Yes.
so-called grew up with them.
He can't, bro.
Yes.
He's lying. He can't do that. If
Of
again,
course you can. That's what I
if
said.
you lined up
That's-
100
hold on.
each, he would not be able to tell the
That's
difference.
why I said
I
to
mean,
y'all, have you ever?
I mean, are you?
That's why.
But,
Hold on,
what,
man.
are you?
Hold on. Just let me finish and get this out. That's why I said you need to ask these people. Because in my example, I said if you put 5 and 5 in a room and you brought a Haitian into that room, you don't think they'd be able to tell the difference. And all y'all flipped out
They
saying
could
no,
not
and you
tell
know
the
that's
difference.
not
they
true.
wouldn't.
They cannot listen to what
Oh,
I'm
Jesus
saying.
Christ.
Listen. I'll
You
be
tell me
clear.
a Haitian doesn't know what another Haitian looks like?
Listen, I work
Christ.
for a company that had Haitian, Caribbeans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, everybody all in one shot. And guess what? They couldn't tell unless they opened their mouth.
That's not
One
true.
time, this one guy thought that the other guy wasn't Haitian, and in fact, he was Haitian. He didn't believe the guy until he started speaking Haitian Creole.
You know what else is also interesting, generationally speaking, you guys, because I'm older than you guys, right? That when I was a little kid or younger, and I can remember like 12 or whatever, my mother had her friends, would come, and I noticed that that her generation, they were from the South, and they had come to the West Coast, mostly from the South. That would be people that are in their 90s right now. And their way of acting and their look was different than my older brothers and sisters' look and way of being. They were different. They had a different thing about them. But guess
Bro,
what?
but that
That
has
different
nothing
thing
to do
about
with being able to
but
identify
no,
someone
no,
off the
no.
rip
But
based
no,
upon where they.
I get you.
I
I
could
get you.
tell.
But
I could tell a
listen to what
Dominican
I'm gonna say
from
though.
a
Listen to
Haitian
what I'm gonna
from
say.
easier than a Jamaican and a Haitian.
But listen to this though. To me, that generation, my mother's generation, they had more of a vibe that was like old school, that was like African, and they were
What do you mean that
darker.
was like African? What does that mean?
That means that the way that they walked or they talked or something, that when I saw them and I
What is
remembered them, and I start to when I went to Africa, to 2 different places in Africa, it reminded me of the people in the South, my mother's generation, the way that they walked, with some of their mannerisms and stuff, and their look too.
So
So, and
you
there were
saying
darker for me. There
did they
were
live in a
darker. Wait a minute, let me say this.
urban or suburban area in Africa when you went? Was it urban or suburban?
I went to both. I went to the city, and I went about 30 miles outside of the city. In both cases, in Nigeria and the Congo. And by the way, in Louisiana, according to Gwendolyn Hall, the largest ethnic group was Congolese brought into Louisiana. That was
Yeah,
the
after the
largest
Spanish
ethnic group.
period. After the
Yeah.
Spanish period, yes. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about during the French period. The
Okay.
older, like the people I come from, the quote unquote Creoles. Most of us are Senegambia.
And Kulu, you want to hear something interesting, right?
Interesting.
I remember 5 years ago when I went to Harlem, right? It was me and my man, my FBA man named Ian. We in Harlem, right? There's a Malian guy, right? So he goes there and we're talking, right? So the guy goes, my FBA friend goes, hey, where you from? The guy says he's from Mali. So he goes and say, hey, my boy over here is also from Mali too. He looked at me up and down. He was like, no, you're not Malian. And guess what? Until I spoke the language, me and started talking in the dialect. That's when he realized and said, "Oh, this guy is from Mali." So that's why this guy right. So that's why this guy that's why he's saying that he could look at someone and he could tell. You can't tell unless they physically look like an African. You can't tell. It's impossible.
Is anybody listening or on the panel in the chat that's either Jamaican or Haitian that could
I
tell
think
us
what
whether or
you're
not you could tell
recognizing
if
is a
somebody's Haitian or
vibe,
Jamaican?
is an ethos or a vibe. The vibe of a group of people, it can be different than other groups of people. And in this case, because they brought us from the same place, our vibe and our look and the way that we move and the way we move really, we could have the same look, but there's something about us that's a little different. And guess what? That can over time you can assimilate into that group, and with those mannerisms and with the whatever the energy that group has, you can assimilate into that group and look more like them because you've been around them more. So I think what
That's
you're
not
saying is
scientific, brother.
maybe not
You
scientific,
can't
but I would
start
say,
looking like a group of people because you interact with them, bro.
well,
You
no,
have to have genetics.
you already look like them, but you start to
Was it
have
you
their
who said I was
vibe
saying
and their energy.
pseudoscience earlier?
You
Was it
see what
you?
I'm
Nah, you
saying?
were.
So you phenotypically you can look
Pseudoscience works.
identical to them, but have something about them something about you and them is different. It's really your
I just
ethos
want
or
to
your
confirm
vibe.
pseudoscience works now, is what you're saying.
No,
No,
I'm
he had
saying it's
to.
nonsense.
Okay.
Oh, well,
I
you
do
may
have a
not
quick question
agree,
because
but
I think you were the person that said earlier that you're 97% from Africa, right?
No, I never
No,
said that.
So
no, that was
somebody else said
me.
that.
That
Somebody
was
else said
me.
that was you.
That was me.
Do,
And when I go to Jamaica or Africa, the people often think that I am from there, but I am American through and through.
I hear you.
FBA,
Quick question. Do you know
ADOS.
how hard it would be for you to have two parents who also have two parents to be 97% African and your people have been here for 2 centuries? You know how
I
hard that would
considered
be?
it.
Chris Tucker was like that too. He was
No,
99%.
no, he's not. You're both of your
Chris Tucker
parents would have.
was something like 90 to
This
99%
is why.
Angolan from
This is
Angola.
no. It's
It
not
depends on what
90.
region you in, and did you have
In
Who you
order.
contacts in
talking
US
to? I'm
region?
telling you about Chris Tucker when they did a DNA test. He
I
went to
understand.
Angola.
I'm trying to get to the point. You won't let me talk.
No,
That
but you're saying no, he's not, and you don't even know
he's
what the hell
not.
I'm talking about.
They're
How
talking about his percentage of African DNA,
I
not
was
his
talking about Chris
percentage
Tucker
of his
specifically.
entire DNA. For you to be
I was talking about
99,
Chris Tucker.
sir, stop talking and let me finish. For you to be 99% of something from a different place, that means both your parents have to also be
Exactly.
99% or
And for you to
better
say he's
from
not and
that
don't
place.
know a damn thing
Hear me
about
out.
it
Hear
is
me out.
no. I heard
Hear
you
me
out. You
out.
said he's
So
not.
in order for your parents to be near 100% from a place where their ancestors
We
came
know
from
that though.
hundreds
That's
of
common
years ago,
sense.
do you know what the odds are
That's
of that?
common sense. Yes,
Nah, I
of
mean, but
course.
if he comes from a population that was isolated, like somewhere in Savannah with the Gullas, or somewhere in the coastal
The
South
Gullas,
Carolina with the Gullas,
but we have
that's
very
more, that
few
would
of
be
those
more accurate.
happening, right? For you to be
I
97,
mean,
hold on. For you to be 97% of something,
Mm-hmm.
both of your parents have to be damn near 100%
You
of
Mm-hmm.
that
said that
thing.
already, and we know
Yeah.
So what
yeah,
that.
I'm
and
what
we
I'm
know
trying to
this.
get at is
We know this.
so wait. So what I'm trying to get at is if he is FBA, meaning he was here at
He's not
his,
FBA at all.
What you
Nah, he
if
mean?
said
his
he was
parents were
though.
What you
here at the
mean?
He's
founding,
not
He said he
FBA though.
was.
if
He
his
What
said
do
he
you
parents
was.
were
mean?
here at the
What do you
founding of
mean
this
I am not
nation,
FBA?
I hear you. If his parents were here at the founding of this nation, which was 250 years ago, how in God's name is both his parents nearly 100% African?
He could have been
That
here 130
Well,
years ago.
it's
Do you
definitely
that just
realize
possible.
mean
how many grandparents and great grandparents and great
Yeah,
great grandparents and
130
It's
great
years
not
great
really
ago.
that much.
grandparents
What?
would
That's
have to all be
that's like
African?
six
It's only like
200,
generations.
8.
Is how many years
two-
ago?
Yeah, it's
250,
only
a generation is 15 to 20 years.
20
250,
years.
250 years is about 13 generations.
But you capping it off at a 250-year period.
That's right,
You
because
would have to
I'm not going. So hold on. We don't need to go back
you
further.
would have to know his genetic land though.
No, but
And I
hold
mean,
on. Hear me out. If it's 200, if it's about 12 or 13 generations, that means he has a grandparent every single generation. Times 12. 12 times 2. And actually, it's not even 12 times 2 because it exponentially grows every time a generation happens. He gets 2 more each 20 years. The dude has almost
we all know
100.
this.
He
so
almost has
what should
100. He almost has 100 different relatives that creates his one lineage. Do you think all of those people were almost 100% African?
my genome be
Jesus
filled
Christ!
with?
Can
You
you
know,
just address that question first before you go into this?
I mean, why are you
say the question
I
again.
mean, why would he not be honest about that? Like, I mean,
But
yeah,
I'm not
okay,
saying he's that
even if
honest.
you're saying
Somebody
it's a
might have told him
rarity,
that, but all I'm saying is that is practically impossible. If
The
nah,
you've
bro,
been
it's
science
here,
told
definitely
me
not
that.
if
The
your
science
impossible.
ancestors,
told
That's
me
the
that.
only
not
way
It's
that's
not
the only
nah.
way that's
I've
It's
seen
not.
possible.
It
It's
Hold
not
also
on.
told
impossible.
me
It's
that I
not.
am
I've
It's
seen
not. It's not
50% German.
impossible.
Wait,
It's not
only way that's
impossible.
Guys,
possible.
let me pass the mic to the sister,
Yeah.
Miss Muhammad. Miss Muhammad, you still on?
Yep, I'm still here.
Go ahead, Miss Muhammad.
Yeah, maybe that brother's people are Gullah Geechee because my
I
people on
am.
my mom's side are Gullah Geechee, and I'm like 89% African. Of course, that's probably typical though. I don't know, but Yeah, maybe his
Yeah,
people are gonna get you.
I am.
if they did a sample of the Maroons that's in Jamaica, they would probably have a like 98, 97, 99%. The Comanche
Yeah,
people in
so
Jamaica, they would probably have that similar percentage. So it's not impossible at all.
yeah, so clear. Yeah, clearly it's possible.
Well, actually, it isn't, because what you guys don't understand is they're not giving him the percentage of his entire genome. A lot of people hear, you know, you do the DNA test and you think, oh, that's all of me. That's not all of you. And people fail to understand this. That's why you can't use the DNA test for any legal purposes. It's not accurate. Basically, it's for
But it's
entertainment.
not.
Nah, don't
So,
say it's not accurate.
but it's
That's
only
not why.
accurate. It's
Basically
only
for
That's not,
accurate
and
when
that's
you're
not
not convicted
true.
of
You're
a
not
crime.
talking
It
on
is
logic.
true.
So it's
It's
not.
not
So it's
true.
not accurate when you get exonerated from a crime, though, right?
Nah, but that's not the same type of genetics, though. But what
Thank
he's saying
you.
is
No,
not
but what
in
I'm
that.
saying
I
is
mean,
that
It's not
no,
the
they
same
have
genetic test.
no
Thank you.
Nkolo.
Hey
They
guys,
have
I
they have
gotta read these super chats. Miss Z2023, thank you for $2 holla. Folks resisting delineation, what's wrong with it? TF7389, thank you for $5 holla. 97% African DNA, African American. What can you get from Africa for having 90% African DNA? Not a damn thing. Some or none other baddie, thank you for $2 holla. You are mad he don't have divestors in his family. Okay.
And Kulu, I
That's
was just saying
crazy.
that, you know, that for the guy who got caught in LA, I forgot, the serial killer, he didn't have no DNA at the crime scene. What they had to do is they had to go do a genealogy thing to get his DNA. He got it from a relative, and that's what they was able to catch that killer.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like only DNA is only convenient when you get exonerated, but anything else is false. which
Yeah,
sounds
anybody
crazy.
that's not a geneticist that talks about it being inaccurate, I'm not trying to hear nothing you talk
You guys
about.
are confusing the DNA test. The test that you do to learn it. First of all, DNA tests are only accurate going back a number of years in your lineage. It is not
Need a
accurate
source
going
for
back
that.
300 years or 200 years or multiple multiple centuries.
We would
They'll
have to
tell
have
you.
a source for that.
Yeah, but
I
that
don't know
has
why y'all.
nothing to do.
You
That has
guys
nothing to
can.
do with
Has anybody?
genome percentage.
Has
You're comparing
anybody ever?
synapses to other current
Has
groups, contemporary people.
Has
So that has
anybody
nothing to do
read
with
the
anything you're talking about.
disclaimer when you do that test? You have to check a box for disclaimer. Have you read that disclaimer yet?
Do you know why?
Bro, y'all say
Do
this
you know
all the time, the
what
entertainment
purpose
purposes only
that
stuff.
this? Do you know what purpose that disclaimer plays? It's not because it's only for entertainment. It's to help them avoid frivolous lawsuits from people who are, you know, fanatics and will get mad and, hey, I thought I had Indian. I want to sue you. And it's also because people was some people started trying to use it in place of actual medical advice. It has nothing to do that the science doesn't work. That's why they put that smart disclaimer. Any business that operates smartly would also do the same thing.
Is that DNA test the same DNA test they do in criminal investigation?
No, it's not forensic DNA analysis. No, it's not.
So then why are we talking about like it is?
Because they're still comparing DNA synapses to other contemporary groups. So when you
Right, but
compare them and it's the same, then you come with a percentage. Like, come on, stop.
Right. But they're pulling a sample set of people that may or may not been in that region at that time. They're pulling current sample sets from people in current time that live there now.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
That's where
Okay, so you can
archaeology
say
and
generally,
anthropology
you can
Now,
say
hold
generally
on,
they
hold
might
on.
have not
And
literally
not-
been in that area, but they're still the
Hold-
same people and they still
Hold on,
descend from
but
the same group.
wait.
But they're still
I'm
Africans.
going into that because it's actually not the people in that area, and it's not all of the DNA from that area. That's why y'all never looked at this. That's not your whole genome they're testing for. There's actually
This
groups
is a
that
straw man.
hold on, they've actually excluded groups from that that they compare your DNA to. There's groups that they've excluded that
I
come
need a
from that
source
same
for that.
region.
Nah, but
Y'all didn't know that.
when you're talking about when you're talking about ancestry DNA, yeah, their sample size of African samples is not very robust. But again, when it doesn't, it's still, and it's not giving you the entire picture. Literally, I don't even think it generally gives you a a really accurate picture because I don't think they have a robust enough sample size. But even when you're talking about the synapses that they compare with contemporary people, yes, you can say they literally don't come from that area because people migrate. You could say 100 miles east, 100 miles south, but it doesn't negate the African. That's what I'm saying. Because if you compare somebody's genome that's been on the continent this entire time to somebody that's in America, and most of the synapses match, and it comes to a percentage, then there's no way scientifically you can argue against that, bro. So
Do you
what
know
you're
that
saying
when white folks
inconsequential.
take that same test based on what you described, they all match as African too, right?
Not to the same percentage. That's nonsense.
That's fine.
Not to
I'm
nowhere
not going to
near the
disagree
same
with you on that
percentage.
one. Yeah, I don't disagree with you
Not
on
to
that
near
one.
the
But
same,
all
but
I'm
they do
saying
have
is
African in them though.
they don't,
It's
or
just
they do.
distant. They do. It's just extremely distant for most people. And
So why
if you're
isn't it
talking about
distant
people
for?
that are in South America and Central America, a lot of them have it. That's more recent. But
So why isn't it distance for us? We haven't been. If we go what you're saying,
it's
it's been
not
almost
distant
three.
at all.
From
If
what
you
you wait,
compare
hold on.
the European is usually as distant as we have as they have African.
Hold on.
For the most part.
Here in North America, as far as the slave trade is concerned, the slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, it's been almost 400 years since anybody came from Africa.
That's a small
that's not true
time
either.
frame. That's a small time frame
So
too.
400 years, almost a half a millennia, is a small time frame now.
That's a very
Yeah,
small
historically that's extremely
when you
small, and then
A small
genetically that's
time frame.
extremely small.
A small time frame compared to what exactly?
The whole entirety of the human genome, the time frame that it's evolved, and people have
So then that means
mingled and mixed.
everybody's African.
Again, you do this fallacious, nonsensical argument to where you just conflate and you don't.
I'm not.
Brother,
I'm
you
just using
running
your
away
logic.
from who you are, which is cool. The self-hate is fine, but
I'm just using your
you're not going to
logic
run
as-
away from the science.
If we talk
It is what
about
it
the
is.
entire timeline of people, and we all came from Africa, that's what you just said. I didn't put that there. You did. So if that's the case, that
I'm
means
not literally.
everybody's
I'm
African.
saying yes, humans
Remember,
did,
they
but
just identified.
they had
just
genetic
ident-
mutations that occurred outside the continent, and
Yeah,
and
but
it's
they
been
just-
over a 1,000-year period,
This was a
not
couple of
400
months
years.
ago. They just identified Asians as being Africans. Are Asians Africans now?
I don't.
Everyone
You would have to
knows
direct me to the study that you're talking, or the article that you're talking about. I don't. What are you
Asians.
talking about?
Nobody remember that? It was an article that talked
Asians
about it.
did their own
Provide
test,
it, please.
and they concluded that they descend from Africans because Asians were trying to prove that they descended from some hominin that originated in Africa. That's what in Asia. That's what they were trying to do, and they had to admit that, hey, we descend from Africans. I mean, most people who are scientifically literate knows that we are one species. We all come from one species, and that species came from Africa.
That's correct.
If you don't go with that, you are trying to say that there are different species of human. That
exactly.
There are some people that are not Homo sapiens sapien. Are you trying to say that, brother?
Yeah, anybody who says that is crazy. So.
But that's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you get into the weeds of the classification.
Wait, hold on. I just said, aren't white people Africans? And y'all told me no. Remember?
I said no.
There's something called conversation. There's something called conversation. There's nuance to the conversation.
Yeah. All right. So let me make sure I understand.
They aren't Africans because they mutated outside of Africa. Something that took thousands of years. Us being here 400 years, we haven't had sufficient time for our genome to mutate and become differently from the modern Africans.
So they're not sapien, is what you're saying?
Of course they are sapien.
So I'm confused. What you just told me a minute ago means that they are African based on your logic.
And I also told you
nuance.
That it depends upon conversation. Remove the word African and just say they are Homo sapien. There are Homo sapiens in Africa. There are Homo sapiens in Europe. There are Homo sapiens in Asia.
And there's Homo sapiens in North America. Okay.
Yes, Homo sapiens here. Homo sapiens in North America that crossed over from Asia. And they are not just so coincidentally have the same phenotype as Africans, as some people try to push, that there just happens to be black people here who were always here, and they just so happen to have the same phenotype as Africans. No, those people, by the time they had got here, their phenotype, their genome would have changed because it took them, what, 20, 30,000 years
What
to
about
walk
Lucia woman
from
who was
Africa.
already here before those people got here?
Who?
Do you
woman?
do you
She
know
was
what
found
the
in South America.
do you know
Are
what
you
the
talking
studies
about the
say about
Australoid?
her?
You talking about the Australoid sister?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not our group of people, even though some would consider that quote unquote black.
So they're not sapien
I've seen
sapien?
genetic evidence and anthropological evidence of there being a quote unquote what you would deem black, but it's not. They're not. We're not Australoid people. So and I don't even like using those terms because that's
they look
Blumenbach's
like us,
terms.
but they look kind of like us, but they're not us.
But okay, so this is the same person that said a Jamaican don't look like a Haitian, but an Australoid looks like somebody that's you, bro.
I'm just saying.
You are logically.
Wait, no,
It's just
I'm actually
logically all
using
over the
your
place.
logic right now. I'm not
You're
using my
not
own.
though. You're not.
I understand. I'm using your logic because according to your logic, that's a Homo sapien, and that means we all related because we all Homo sapiens. We got Homo
Yeah.
sapiens on the continents everywhere, right? The different continents got Homo sapiens. Then y'all talked about mutations and stuff happening over the time. Okay, cool. And then
Which
you
is a
said,
big.
hey, we got a woman that resembles black people, but she's not black, right?
Nah, I didn't say
that was
resembles
here.
quote unquote black people. I said she could be classified as black based on who you're talking to. But no, the Australoid,
Okay, cool.
the Australoid phenotype is completely. I mean, I'm not going to say completely different, but it's visibly different from what you would term as a. I don't like using these scientific racism terms that Blumenbach created, but what you would classify as quote unquote Negroid, craniometrically and phenotypically and genetically.
All right. So she looked Negroid, the rest of us look Negroid, but we're not the same, is what you're telling me, right?
No, I
can't
said she
happen.
didn't. You see, you're not even listening to what I'm saying.
Well,
No, she wouldn't be.
She had Negroid features, did she not?
They actually fixed that. You know,
I know they
you're
redid
actually
it. And I
going
know
off
what
of
the
something.
outcome was after they redid it. They didn't fix
Yeah.
it to say she didn't have that.
Yes, they did.
Fixed it to say
They
she did.
said that she was Paleo Indian. That's the latest. She's Paleo
Right.
Indian.
Correct. But her features, her phenotype looked like who?
Paleo Indians?
Really?
Yes. Look like Paleo Indians. Look like Paleo Indians. It definitely didn't look West African, tell you that.
So now we have difference between Homo sapiens, different between Homo sapiens on each continent. We're on this continent, they're on that continent, and somehow we are African.
Because we've only been here 400 years.
Yeah, facts. Like you conflated a whole bunch of stuff, bro. This
I'm
is a
not conflating.
juvenile argument you're making.
Do you know what the
This is
word conflate
retarded.
means? I don't
Yes,
think you know what it means.
I
didn't
definitely
conflate
know what it
anything.
means.
All I'm
You
saying is
you're conflating thousands of years. First of all, you're conflating thousands of years of history, trying to juxtapose it to 400 years.
No, I'm
Yes,
just
we
using
said
what
that people
you-
are different.
I'm
We
trying
said
to
that
make-
people are different, but for you to try to make this assumption
I'm
or
trying to
assertion,
make sense of what you're telling me. I'm
No,
only
you're
using
not.
I'm only using
You're
the
not, though.
information. I'm only using the information you provided me. And when I
No, you're
regurgitate
trying
it
to
back
frame
you,
an argument in a way that and
I
just
have to frame
disregard
it
all of
because
the
you're in
nuance that we've
conflict.
articulated the entire
Sir,
time.
you're in conflict with yourself.
Let
You
me
said
make
we're
it
all the
simple for
same
you.
because we're sapien,
Let me
and we're just
make
sapien. Hold on,
Let
we're
me
just
make it simple for you.
sapien on different continents. And then when I say, oh, so we are different, then you say, no, we're African. And I'm like, I don't understand. If we're on different continents and we've been here for half a millennia, how could we still be the same?
400
Let me
years
let
is not
me
half a
let me
millennium.
make it
Not
let me
only
make it
that,
very simple for
we
you.
mix with other quote unquote races, right? But somebody on the
Possibly.
panel is 97% African. I don't know
That's
how
me.
that's possible if
That's
your
me.
people been here for 250 years, but fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's possible, but okay. All right. If your people been here for 250 years, and not that
Isolation.
many Africans came over here to North America, that is.
Wait a minute.
I
What
don't
you
know how
mean?
that's
Not that
possible.
many.
Even
380,000.
the lady just mentioned, she's from an area, one of her relatives is from an area in South Carolina where we know for a fact that these people were secluded that are actually from Africa that can be traced. And she's still not in the 90 percentile. So how
Because
are
she
you
said one of her lines is
97%?
Gullah Geechee. She said one.
I'm
Right.
from that
One is
same
Gullah
place.
Geechee. Right.
I'm Gullah Geechee.
You Gullah
Yeah,
Geechee
both of
now?
his lines
I'm
are
Gullah
probably Gullah
Geechee.
Geechee.
He was saying they may be Gullah Geechee a little while ago. So
He
now he's
never
saying they're
said that.
I
actually
did
He
Gullah
not
never
Geechee.
say
said
maybe.
Yeah,
that.
you don't listen, man.
No, listen, he
The
never said that.
gentleman who said his percentage was 97%, I said, how is that
Uh-huh.
possible?
That's me.
He said they might have been Gullah Geechee.
I didn't
No,
say that.
yeah, that
He never
was
said
me
that.
who said he may have been Gullah Geechee
Oh, okay,
because
that was you. All
he's
right.
got that high
But
percentage.
he
Yeah.
didn't say he was Gullah Geechee when I asked
No,
him.
I didn't. You didn't
He
ask me
didn't.
that.
The person who said they were 97% African.
Uh-huh. That's me.
The first dude talking. The first dude that spoke. I said, how is that possible? And I did the count back based on generations and all that good stuff. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
so you telling me you have, because remember, it exponentially increases every generation you go back. By the time you get to your great grandparents, you got 16 people you get lineage from. So you telling me all 16 people are almost 100% African?
I mean, what would be the problem with that? If they never
No, there's
mix
no
with
problem with it. I'm just saying that's kind of hard to
If
do.
they never mix with anything else, what else would fill in that blank spot?
That is true if they never mix with anything else. What are
Okay.
the odds that a Black American family who's lived here for 250 years, I'm
He
just
just
going back
told you
to
he's
when we
Gullah
became a
Geechee.
country.
He
I
just
know
told
we've
you
been
he's
here
Gullah Geechee.
longer. Don't get me wrong. I'm just going back 250 years.
Mm-hmm.
If your family has been here that long, how are you 97%? The Gullahs are a special case. I understand them. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. But that didn't happen in too many other places here in the United States.
Apparently not.
The genetic averages bear that out, though. So I don't know why you're
No,
trying to
they don't.
contradict the science. Yes,
The
they do.
average-
Majority of
average-
African Americans are not nine. The majority of African Americans have 20 to
our average
25%
percentage, 20%.
European admixture.
Our average percentage is 20% European on the average.
Yeah, which that's plausible. That would mean two, bro. That would mean like roughly 2 people on each line have had 2 generations of intermingling with Europeans. So
Right.
that's very plausible.
Which is real easy to do for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. He would have to be Gullah Geechee on both sides to be 97%. I get that. He ain't say that, but okay. I believe him now.
I didn't say that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 3% German. You know, I don't know what I mean. Hey.
So both your mother and your father is from South Carolina?
No, my mother and father are from here in Jacksonville, Florida.
So your grandparents are from South Carolina?
Yes.
Both sets?
No.
Jesus Christ. All right, man. All right. Just so you know, grandparents on my mother's side, my mother's mother, her and her family is from South Carolina. So that's why I know quite a bit about South Carolina myself.
Yeah, Gullah range from Florida all the way up, I think, to North Carolina, or is it Virginia? That's if I'm not mistaken, there were Gullah all up and down that seaboard there. Of course, they were concentrated in South Carolina, but Gullah were all the way from Florida to I think Virginia.
Yeah, even
I don't know about
Georgia too
Virginia.
as well.
I have heard North Carolina. So I don't know about Virginia, but I know all the way up North Carolina, all the way down to Florida. Northern Florida, I should say. But
Question: Why is the 400 years that we only been here keep coming up? I mean, is that what most people here believe, that we were only here 400 years as Black people?
No, it's just that's a good reference, just simply because if we say that we were here before, which most of us were here before, they'll say, well, it wasn't a country, right? They'll say something.
Let them say that.
Silly.
Let them say that.
I'll take my family
hold on.
line before 1776. So
Hold on.
it ain't.
Because there are Black people who will say that they were here prior to that, and I simply ask, when and how did you get here? Because these are those people who usually say we've always been here. My question is, when and how did you get here if you were already here? And I can pretty much guarantee that there's no evidence, there's no proof, there's nothing that can verify that there were black people here in population prior to the transatlantic slavery.
No, that's not true.
So
There
you can
was. There's
almost
actually
guarantee
books.
that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there's actually books talking about meeting black people here. What they call black people.
Yeah.
What them
There you
European
go.
folk
Are you
call
talking
black
about
What
people.
they
Ivan Van
call
Sertima that
black
came
people.
before Columbus?
Yeah, what the people that look like
He's one.
Ethiopians, that look like Indians from India, the whole
I'm
Indian
not
thing.
entertaining this conversation no more, man. Y'all got it.
But
I mean,
so
why is it so
also,
hard to believe though? I mean,
Brother,
for
well,
believe
instance,
I
what you want to
believe it.
believe. I
I
really
don't think
don't care,
anybody
bro. Like
doesn't. I
at
don't
this
think
okay,
at
nobody
20,
disbelieves it.
2026, bro, believe it, bro. I
well,
don't care.
Yeah.
anybody who continue to say that black people came here on slave ships is just ridiculous. I mean, we actually traveled before the advent of a white person. There's documented history, for instance, on the walls of Egypt of dark people and light people. There's also evidence of Olmec heads of black people from thousands and thousands of years before the Aztecs, before the Mayans, that they were here. Their technology is what preceded those other groups in South America. They were black people. They had advanced civilizations. We've been going back and forth for a very long time. There are mummies with cocaine in this system. Cocaine doesn't grow in the Western, in the Eastern Hemisphere. It's here. It's over here. They had to been traveling back and forth. I mean, so we've been here for a very long time. That's why the phenotypes matches each other.
Look,
All right.
all I
we
ask is
just
that
didn't.
you people that say stuff like this, bro, y'all need to start your own anthropology and anthropological and archaeological research institutes and verify some of this stuff. That's the only advice I would give. I'm not entertaining the nonsense though.
Okay, my brother. It
But
sounds
those
like you
things
would
have been
never.
verified. But those things have already been verified and documented.
Right.
It's just
No, they
You don't
haven't.
want to
No, they
investigate
haven't.
that.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
they
entertaining
haven't.
Or
that,
you know what?
but okay.
Yes, they have been investigated, bro. Or
That's
you
called
just refuse
pseudoscience,
to.
brother.
that's not. No, they
Okay,
actually
brother.
did find
It's not
cocaine in the
accepted.
mummies. No, they did find
And
Every
they
cocaine
but
in the mummies.
they
also have
found cocaine in every
explanations for
single
that.
mummy they dug up. Every
Yeah.
last one of them. All of them.
Have you done any recent research on
The research I have
the
done,
latest for that?
the
What?
the acquired research, it's been years, it's been over 10, maybe even 15 years ago, that the researchers who were doing DNA tests on mummy, it was on one of the programs that I seen on TV. Have I read a book? No. But the researchers actually were surprised that every last mummy, young and old, that they tested, that they found cocaine in their system. Now, were they using cocaine the way that we use cocaine? Was it for medicinal purposes? I
You
don't
mean we
know,
use
but it was
cocaine?
in their system.
I don't use
The
cocaine.
people of the day, I don't use cocaine. I don't use no drugs either. When I say we, I mean the people of the day. The way people of the day ingest cocaine is because they want to get high or they're addicted, whatever you want to call the reason they're using it. That's what I mean. But I'm saying is they may have not been using it for that purposes. Whatever purpose they were using it for may have been more advanced. I'm saying all that to say that regardless to whatever, it was in their DNA.
Sir, you just said that you are going off the research from 10 or 15 years ago. You know that science grows every year, sir. So things that were
I haven't heard anything to
a
dispute it.
mystery, things that were a mystery 10 or 15 years ago, they have answers for now. I would have to look again, but they have
right?
already given a explanation for that. I looked at it
Okay,
last
what was the
year,
explanation?
I
What was
will
the
have to
explanation?
look at it once more, but
Well,
they
maybe you
gave an
should wait till you
explanation for
look
that.
at it once more before you make that statement, because what you're doing is
Maybe you
you're
should
shedding
bring
doubt on something.
some up-to-date scholarship 10, 15
Well, hold
years
on. How do
ago.
you know it's not up to date? How do you know that?
He just said he looked into it last year.
The same way
Right, but
No,
you
he
can
said
know
he
it.
has to
The
look
same
into it.
way
He
you
don't.
can
he has
know
to
it.
look
Put it
into
that
it.
way.
You
He's just making
sounding
a
pseudo.
yeah.
The same
You just
way
making a
you
ask.
can
You
look
just kind of
into it.
Sir, you're just trying to discredit him without having any knowledge of what you're arguing. If you don't have anything to argue, just don't say nothing.
I have basic knowledge of it. I don't store this stuff in my mind,
So then if you don't know, why would you make
as
such a
you all
comment?
do, because it means nothing to me. But I
No,
do
no, no.
know
But
that
if you
that
don't
has
I can
been
source Chat
debunked.
GPT.
That has
We
been
can source Chat
debunked.
GPT, and they'll
I
say
thought you
yes.
didn't
They
know.
will.
Hold on.
That
Before
has
you go
been
into the Chat
debunked.
GPT thing, if you didn't know, now you saying it's debunked, but you don't know if it's
Specifics.
debunked.
The specifics. The specifics. It
What are you
has
talking
been
about?
debunked. It has been debunked.
But I thought you said
By
you didn't
who
know.
and
You had to
how?
look it up. What are you
I
saying?
said I do not know the specifics, but I
So
Where
how
do
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 you
you
know
know
know it's
that
that?
it
been
has
debunked?
been debunked. Can you
So
get
how
that? Do
was it
you
debunked?
understand that?
No, now hold on.
By the only community that can do it, the scientific community.
Hold
You
on.
know, the
But
one
you
that you
just said
don't
to this
give credit
man,
to.
you said to this man that he need to show an article and this and that and the third, and
Mm-hmm.
you didn't want to take what he said as quality because he couldn't back it up. But now you're saying it's been debunked and you can't back it up. Should we really believe you?
I'm saying that if we were on a platform where we were able
What are you
to
talking about? My man, do
show
you know it to be
sources,
true or not?
we could both pull it up
Okay,
and I would
I
be
hear
right.
you.
But
I
we
hear
are
you.
not on such a platform right
He
now.
made
It
a
has
point.
been debunked. All the
He made it
information,
right. He
I
made a
don't
point.
listen to anyone who thinks black people have been here millennial. That shows me they are not academically
How do you
astute.
know? But there's actually
Explain the Olmec heads.
Hold on,
Explain the Olmec
Those
heads.
Let's not
have
even go into the
also
Olmecs.
been
Let's not even go into the Olmecs.
those have
There are
those
literally
have also been
architectural
explained.
records reflecting people of color being here and not the Asian ones. So you should know this already as somebody who studied the
No.
article.
See, you just made that up, not
Oh
the
shit.
Asian ones. You're saying that they look black. What does the science say? See, you're saying that they don't
I
look
hear what you're
black.
saying.
What does the science say?
But the scientifically, there is no such thing as black.
We're not about to do this damn circle jerk thing. You know
No.
what is being
I didn't say anything. I didn't say.
This is
All
a
I said
semantical
was,
argument moving the targets, bro.
hold on.
He's a
All I
pseudo.
said
He's a
was
flaming pseudo.
the people who
Yeah, that's true.
classified people of color as being black identified people here that they identified as looking black. That's all
And
I
they
said.
also corrected that, right? They corrected that,
No.
right? They
I'm
corrected that, right?
That's just you
Science
said they correct.
progress since then. Science
So
progress since then. They said they look black, they look oriental too. They also said that, right? They
My
said
man,
that too,
hold
right?
on.
Go ahead.
It was recorded in South America. They had definitions for the people that they could classified as black that are from there, and
They called
definitions
them
for the people
Negroes of the land.
and
Do you
terror,
know
right? Yeah,
that they
terror.
call
And then the
Arabs
people who were
Negroes? They call
right, and then
Arabs sand Negroes.
hold on. I'll give you a second because you obviously know it too. They classified the people that they considered black that was from that land, and they classified the people that were black that was from Africa, right? So that's clear proof there was black people already here. No,
because everyone's black to them. Everyone's black to a darn white person. They call Arabs sand Negroes.
Okay.
Let's have some darn intellect, people. Everyone's black to them.
Okay. No, I don't disagree. They're the ones who came up with the classification. So why isn't that person considered black? Now?
Because I don't.
Black.
Because
You can
I
consider
don't
whatever you
consider.
want to, brother.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We could consider Africans black because they considered Africans black, right? But Africans don't classify themselves as black. But for some reason, you working real strong to do it.
Bro, you just doing
the Africans identified by tribe and race.
Circular reasoning, man.
That's just a dumb argument.
Right. So then why are we calling them black if they don't call themselves black?
We don't gotta call them black.
Identify as black, but how you gonna identify as black?
They only identify as black when they get here because they don't have a choice.
Yeah, because
What
what
you
you
mean they don't
explained
have a
why
choice?
though they don't identify as
Are
black.
they
And
gonna
why
click
we
the white
identify as
I'm
black.
trying to explain to you why you cut me off.
No, but are they going to click the white button when they get here? What race button are they going to click?
Are they going to what?
Are they going to click the white button when they get here?
They don't click the white button. What are you talking about?
Right, because they only have a
But
certain
guess
choice
what?
for race.
But no. But guess what? You also have a
Uh-huh.
thing called other, right? And you can fill that box too. So what are you talking about?
Right. They don't select other.
The cat got your tongue, right?
Before they
No,
get here,
because other
before they
doesn't give
get
you
here,
because
they don't
other
know
doesn't
what.
give you a classification. Other
Before they,
nobody.
And then I just said on the section that says other, you can select, you can type whatever you want
Right,
in the other
but
box,
none of
right?
them do
Like
because
for example, you
other
got the
doesn't.
Florida example, you got the Moors, right? Do they select black? No, they select other, right?
Who
And they
the
put
Moors?
Moorish
The Moors
American. Do
from
they
where?
not?
Where are the Moors? Hold on, where are the Moors from?
I said on the application when they give you that race, white, black, Indian, Asian, or
You said the
other.
Moors. You said the Moors
Yes,
select other.
He's talking about the brothers from the
Moors.
Moore
Yeah,
Science Temple of America.
right.
Okay, why are the Moors selecting other? Yeah, I
Because of
know.
the ideology of the black term and all of the legalese.
So why would you
and all
bring
that.
them up? We're talking about
So they
people who
pseudo.
don't use. We're talking about people who don't use race classification, but come here and suddenly have to pick a race. Is
Because
that
of
the
the
same thing as
construct of the
Moor?
United States, man.
You just
Is
sat
that the
here.
same
You
thing as
just
a
said
Moor? Why would you bring up a Moor as an example?
because you just sat here and you just said on this panel that when they get here, they all select black. Can you not just say
No,
that?
I'm
on the
saying
panel?
they don't have a choice. They can't select
Who
white.
said they don't have a choice?
You have to select your race when you come here, sir.
But who said that they don't have a choice?
They don't because they can't select
How?
white.
How
Have
do you know? You work in Homeland Security?
I have family members who came from overseas.
On their continent, they're all black. So why would
No, they're not.
you
They
know?
they don't use race over there.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're
That's the
saying to
point.
me
That's the
somebody.
point.
So
Hold
you're
on.
saying to me
They don't
That's the
consider
point.
themselves black,
So
which
they
is why when they
don't.
came,
So
which is
they
why they came
don't.
here in the 90s and the 2000s. They said,
Hold
"I'm
on. So
not
you're
black.
telling me. So you're telling me that
I'm
somebody
whatever
from.
I'm
So you're
whatever my
telling
tribe
me
was."
that. So you're telling me somebody from Morocco comes to America, he selects black, and when he clearly he's not. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
they actually have a classification for them. Middle
what's the
Eastern.
Now they do.
Yeah, now they do.
They
Middle
didn't. They
Eastern.
didn't before 2 years.
No, and you know what
I
they
think
selected
the
before?
last year and a half. Now it's
Yeah,
MENA.
you know what they selected before? From Morocco,
White.
they selected white.
White. Yeah.
Syria, they selected white. Afghanistan, they selected white. Cubans, they selected white.
Yeah.
I mean, Cubans are white though.
Some of them.
Yeah, some of them. The Cubans we talking about is white. Like the Marco Rubios and all of them.
Yeah.
They white.
But and this is a study that was done down here in Florida. Did y'all know 90% of the Hispanic people, specifically Cubans, classify themselves as white once they get here, no matter how they look?
I would too, probably. That's called politics. That's called politics, brother.
So let's go back to what y'all designating as black.
Nah, but if a black Cuban called themselves white, that's some self-hate type stuff, bro.
I mean, I get you. I don't
I'm not
disagree.
finna ascribe that to them because I don't have any
But
evidence
all
that
I'm
they did
saying is,
that.
if you coming from a place that, and Dominicans have said this, we don't use race in our place and blah blah blah.
Dominicans are coons though, on average.
Right?
So.
Come on, man. You know, Africans did the same thing. We don't classify race. I'm Yoruba. I'm this and I'm that. We don't. They don't use race.
That's a different dynamic though between Dominicans.
Right.
Though.
I hear
It's not
you,
the same.
but all I'm saying is they don't use race classifications in the places they come from. So when they come here and they have to be designated as a race, they'll try their best not to be. But there's certain things that happen, especially with the African ones, where they gonna have to select black/African American, right? And what happens is they get to qualify for programs when they make those selections. So that's that's one decent reason why they would do it, right? They fit the description, and you know, them folks built it this way because they wanted to make sure the people selected what they wanted them to select. So we get that, right? So when they come here, there's really only one option for them to select, and they select it. That's not a problem. All I'm saying is, you, based on that selection criteria, you don't know the difference between somebody that's from here and somebody that's from Africa. All you guys want to do is say, we all from Africa. And we're not.
I mean,
okay, brother. You got it, man. I'm not finna argue with you. If you don't want to be from Africa, don't be from Africa.
Yeah, but you know, we know that we are, you know, us Black Americans are American. I don't even really use Black American. I just say American, if that makes you feel better, brother. But when you're having a genetic conversation, if you're talking about what your genetics is composed of, when we do the science, the majority of our DNA is African.
No,
I mean,
I don't disagree with that at all.
all right, that's as
But
simple
that
as
doesn't mean we
the
are
conversation.
African. That doesn't
No,
mean we're
I
African.
I
So
personally say that we aren't African. We
thank you.
descend from Africans.
So then we shouldn't be calling
But
ourselves African Americans. We shouldn't be saying we're all the same. We shouldn't say we don't look different because we do. We shouldn't be saying all this
but
nonsense. It doesn't make
you're
sense.
going a bit too far there, brother. We
What do
do
you
look
mean
the
I'm going a
same
bit too
now.
far?
We do
If
look the same by and
we kind of
large.
look the same. Hey, I might look like somebody from Puerto Rico, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
possible.
might look like somebody from Puerto Rico, but does that mean the
Uh-huh.
Puerto Rican is black? Well, I lived in Miami. When I go into Miami, they'll just with certain places in Miami, they'll just speak Spanish to me, assuming I speak Spanish
Mm-hmm.
because I'm light, right? And I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. I had a Spanish lady yell at me saying my parents should have taught me how to speak Spanish because she just didn't
Uh-huh.
believe I wasn't Hispanic. I don't have an ounce of Hispanic anything in my genome.
But you probably have close to the same lineage as a person from Puerto Rico
No,
or Cuba, say.
Yeah,
You
you
have
do.
not
African
at
in
The
you.
all.
same
You have
mixture, yes. The
African.
same
No,
admixture,
not at
yes.
You
all.
have
Both.
African. You have
But I don't look like them. I look like a black American, but she thought I looked Hispanic.
What do you first of all, there's no Hispanic look. Like that's
There
a
is a
pseudo
Hispanic look.
classification and stuff.
No,
Dominicans
it's
look
not
different than
because
Dominicans look
this
different than Puerto Ricans. Cubans look different than Dominicans.
they
There is a
cannot
difference.
listen. They
Bro, I
cannot.
don't
The only way the person from Dominican Republic from somebody from Puerto Rico could tell from each other is by when they speak. That's like
No,
literally the only. How you gonna
that's
tell
not
me I worked?
true.
Yes, it is
yeah.
true. Yes, it is true.
I
Really more
I traveled
lived
to
specifically
with
both
Cubans
countries. I
them,
and
traveled to
yeah,
both
but
countries, and I worked at a company that had Puerto Ricans, Dominicans working together.
sir.
We
they
couldn't
Sir,
tell each
haven't
other from each
been
other.
diverse. They haven't
I
been
live with them. I
diversified
talk to
long
them.
enough to look different,
They'll
brother.
Right,
tell
and guess
but
you.
what? And
Have
guess
you
what?
have you ever have you ever asked? Have you ever asked? I've been there with these people when they're
Okay,
saying, "Yo,
but
he's Puerto Rican."
hold up? I got a quick
I've
question. Do
seen
you
it.
speak Spanish? Do you speak Spanish?
No, they were talking my book.
But guess
I
what?
have friends that are Spanish.
But guess what? I speak Spanish fluently, and
I
I'm
hear
telling you,
you.
this is what they. But I'm telling you, this is what they tell me. Even some of them thinking I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican, and I'm neither.
if you
I
look
hear
at
you.
David Ortiz, there's no
I'm
way
not
if
saying
you didn't
I'm
hear
not
him speak,
saying
you
we
would
don't
not
have
know where he's
similar.
from, bro.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not saying we
saying.
don't. Maybe y'all
You see,
misunderstand me. I'm not
we did
saying we
not
don't
hear
have
you because
similarities. What
you
I'm
sat
saying is
here.
we do look
You sat
different.
here. You sat here and you said on the panel that you could tell a person who's Puerto
Yes,
Rican
I can tell.
and who's
I can tell
Dominican.
the difference between a Jamaican and a Haitian. Yes.
By their
I
dress,
guarantee you.
by their
No.
clothes.
I
Nope.
guarantee you. We put 20 Dominicans
Haitians.
and 20
So
Puerto Ricans in a room. You won't be able to freaking tell.
actually
Yeah,
Haitians
he
play
won't.
more into what you guys saying because Haitians were
guess
actually
what?
still
But
were
guess
the
what though?
last
When I
were
hear a
the
Puerto
last
Rican
to stop.
Dominican person speak, I can tell where they're from
Haitians were the
because
last
based
to
on their
stop
dialect.
importing slaves.
Yeah, I can too.
They
Cubans will, the way they speak
actually
Spanish.
stopped importing
It's the way they
slaves
speak. Thank you.
almost in the early 1900s. So what happened is they
Nkulu.
do look more African than a
Brother
Jamaican because
Nkulu.
Jamaicans
When I
stopped
went to
importing slaves much
brother
earlier.
Nkulu. When I went to Costa Rica, they have a city, right? It's called in Spanish La Ciudad de Chocolate. It means chocolate city, right?
Yeah.
These people thought they were like, mira, ¿qué tú eres? Tú eres de Limón. He said, "Are you from Limón, which is a place in
Limon,
Costa
yeah.
Rica full of black people?" And I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Yo, man, you look just like them."
Right, but he's
Yeah,
not amongst
if you
them.
drop Manny Ramirez in any black city and he didn't talk, you would not know to tell the difference between where he's from.
Thank you.
If you go to Miami,
and then guess what?
have
I went
any
to
of y'all
Panama.
ever been
I
to
went to
Miami?
Panama. I went to
Somebody
Panama.
said they lived in
bro,
Miami. Anybody lived in Miami?
plenty of times, bro.
I went to Panama. They thought I was Panamanian.
Hold on. Anybody lived in Miami?
I
Or
mean, it
been to
depends on what you
Miami?
say live. Not
I've
for
been to
longer than 3
Miami,
months.
yes.
Not for longer
Okay,
than 3
I
months.
lived in
Bro.
Miami. You know what Little Haiti looks like versus Lauderdale Lakes.
Yeah, but what is it? I mean, what is that has nothing to do with the people though.
It has everything to do with the people because if you know those areas, you know which people live there.
Nah, I'm saying how they
By their
look.
culture.
I
It's
By their
know.
exactly
culture.
how they look. They
Of
look
course,
different.
their culture
Jamaicans
different.
look different, just like Trinis look different than Jamaicans.
There's a lot of Haitians in
No.
Pompano, but
Oh, Jesus
don't-
Christ. Did you just say no?
That's a generalization, brother. That's
No,
a
it's not.
generalization.
No,
What you
Yeah,
mean?
it is.
Like,
It definitely
you really
is,
hold
bro.
up.
That's
So you're
crazy.
gonna
That's
sit
crazy,
here.
bro.
You're gonna sit here and on this panel. You're gonna say that Trinidadians look different from Jamaicans, and they range from Indian looking. Hold on.
Can
They range
anybody
from
who's
Indian.
Trini or
They
Jamaican
range.
jump on this panel, please?
From Indian
They don't
looking
believe me.
to African looking.
Facts. They have a broad phenotype. They
that's what I
got
said,
they
they
got
look-
some
they
that
look
look like the
different.
Tin Man.
Can
Some that look
anybody
like
that's
Indians.
Jamaican or Haitian or Jamaican, Haitian or Trini that's listening jump on this
You
panel
will
because they
not
don't
be
believe
able
me.
to. You will not be able to tell until they open their mouth, and that's a
I
fact.
mean, bro,
Yes.
if you
Yes, some of
look
them
at
too, though, and anti-scientific, and think
Facts.
that they can
So
use,
hold up. So
lookership.
quick question, sir. Can you tell someone from Guyana from someone from Trinidad by
Yeah.
just looking at them?
I have Guyanese extended relatives. Yes.
I don't believe it.
Oh God.
That's called
There's
leadership.
no way we can substantiate this unless we did it in real time.
That's
Bro.
pseudo,
I don't
brother.
believe you,
That's
bro.
pseudo. And look at
Yeah, it is pseudo.
genetically,
We can't.
that is not possible. That is not possible,
It
brother.
is.
They haven't been divested long enough.
What do you mean? How long do you have
Long
to?
enough.
How long do you have to be divested before your look is different?
I don't know what the
A
magic
very long
number
time.
is,
I think-
but it's longer than 200, 400 years, brother.
How do you know that? Because if you've mixed with
Because I'm
native
scientifically literate, brother.
hold on. If you've been here, you've mixed with native populations and you've mixed with them folks.
Possibly.
On average, somewhere between 15 and 20% of foundational Black Americans have European
Yeah, guys,
ancestry.
I gotta read this super chat that we gotta close
Sure,
out.
shoot.
Maurice 2014, thank you for downloading holla. FBA's average is 75 to 82%. African DNA, we are different. Colbert Hunter, thank you for the $5 holla. Why do Africans want us to look like them so bad? They are still not us. Colbert Hunter, thank you for $5 holla. Africans who learn about the world after they leave the continent are trying to tell everyone their history. Oswald Banks, thank you for $4.99 holla. Vilmar was telling Reek DNA studies and the origin of Olmecs, Mexican archaeology. Number 150 page is 40 to 41. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you buy the documentary. Please go to documentary.searchforwho.com and get the documentary. Just go to documentary.com. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, family. Dennis, Search for Huru. Peace.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Dennis.